Alright, yo, it's your boy Yoshikidneo, and we are back in the world of Boridil, the adventures in Boridil. Today, probably going to be a pretty light session. We're already starting late because our new player of the session, we were trying to get her into the game because she had other plans that she had to do, but they are continuing, I guess. So she might not even join this game, but it is my sister-in-law. Out of the last session, or out of the other campaign, so far she's the only one that hasn't gotten a group, and more than likely she would never find a group unless she were to play in mine. So with Swafford leaving the group 2 sessions ago, it actually kind of worked out perfectly. So, but today should be pretty fun, hopefully, but we'll find out.
Try and kill a green dragon today?
That
I feel like
was my interpretation.
All right, I think we should go do the dog ones instead.
yeah, let's do the dog. Let's start small. Let's start small just to get the feel of our comic, because we still got some new toys we need to test.
Fuck you, Brady.
Okay.
We still got new toys we need to test out. So.
Oh no, that combat just got harder? That's weird. Okay. Well, the last time we met our heroes, you guys did a lot of fuckery with each other, which was hilarious. You guys had hung out at the inn, carefully making sure that the Emerald Tablet was safe. Multiple folks took shifts to ensure that no one was trying to break in and steal it from you, because it is a high ticket item. And you guys had met a lot of shady figures that night. But luckily, the night went on without much of any type of excitement. Aside from Quinn, Quinn ended up meeting a grung named Lurt, who was outside fishing in the canals, and he had pretty much told him that the fish market is really corrupt and stuff like that, just as a general warning, I guess you could say. The next morning, as you guys woke up and started getting ready for your day, Joker apparated out of the shadows into your room, and he took the Emerald Tablet from you guys and asked what your reward would be. He could either give you an item or he could give you monetary value. You guys decided to go with the item, which he ended up not stealing all of your gold and giving you a different coin purse that would actually do what you intended for it to do instead of making a mimic of his. If you do go into the journal, then you go into the magic items, and under obtained, you'll see the coin purse is there. It's pretty much just kind of a homebrew item, so I might tweak it later if it needs to be tweaked, but I guess we'll find out together. But anyway, you guys got this coin purse, and you gave Snoopy the master of it. And essentially what it can do is it can duplicate itself and make sort of a chain of coin purses. And at any moment that the master coin purse loses all of its money, it will then take the funds out of all of the other mimics and combine them into the master. But you guys haven't fully tested it out yet. I believe 2 of you guys have a different, or one of the coin purses, and Snoopy has the master, so there's 3 of them. But correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't truly matter, I guess, either way. Someone trying to say something, I just heard a...
I can hear you, Brady.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
we hear you.
Okay, thank you.
I think it's Kevin.
No, it wasn't me.
Oh. Ethan, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Maybe I'm just hearing shit from... I don't know. Anyway, Joker had left, and at this moment, you guys started to get hungry, and Snoopy ended up sniffing fish on Quinn's person. And because Quinn was being absent-minded, he was able to take one of the 3 fish that Quinn had received from Lurt the night before. This ensued a chase of sorts, where Saberwolf tried to outmaneuver Snoopy and realized that it was futile, as Snoopy was just too quick, and his teleport gave him a very unfair edge. Vikavor didn't want to be a part of this, and ended up trying to go to his own room, which Snoopy was able to teleport into before he closed the door. And Vikavor shoved the fish underneath, like pretty much defacing it, and eventually Saberwolf and Quinn both were disgusted and went to the kitchen, cutting their losses. Snoopy, though, has a brand new chew toy and was very much enjoying it. You guys went to the kitchen, and Quinn tried to make 2 different types of fish. Both ultimately were pretty bland, but they were edible, so you were able to get your morning meal regardless. From there, you guys set out to meet Corgus to see if he had any jobs for you. But first, you guys wanted to go to a place known as the Trifle, which is essentially a 3-tiered hill. Each tier has a different sort of income range, and the bottom being the poorest, middle being middle tier, and the high being where all the rich people are. You guys tried to sell a mundane quarterstaff for probably 5,000 times its worth. And ultimately, the people you were trying to sell it to were just much too poor to afford it. And eventually, someone that none of your characters remember at all interacting with caught wind of your scam and ended up swindling you guys and stealing the mundane quarterstaff from you instead. Because you'd have no idea what happened, you ended up just leaving and go to the richer tier, trying to sell a tiara from an ogre you guys had killed back in the Twisted Wood area to some rich, pompous woman who was utterly disgusted at the fact that you would even offer her something that's been in the dirt or tied to such a disgusting creature. At this point, you guys cut your losses yet again, and also avoided going to buy some geodes from some dude because you don't want to be approached, you want to do the approaching. So you went to Corgus, and he gave you 3 leads. One was to go to the northwest, where there's these spiders that he's heard have made an appearance deep within the mountains. And all he wants is a single egg, or if you're somehow able to get it intact, he wants one of the spiders or spiderlings, or whatever you can get. To the east, there's a large bat-like creature that can essentially put things to sleep just by flapping its wings. And he knows that there's a pair of them, and he wants them for future breeding. To the south, there's a hobgoblin or an ex-hobgoblin warlord with these sort of shadow dogs that he wants. Apparently, they're really, really rare specimen that he's never seen before and can only imagine what they'd be capable of. And then, of course, for the big ticket item, to the west, there is a green dragon that he's heard rumors is close to giving or creating a clutch of eggs. And a clutch is essentially anywhere between 1 to 6 eggs being laid by this dragon. And he said that he would like one of them, but if somehow you are able to get the dragon itself, he will pay you handsomely. With that, you guys took your leads and started to leave. And as you left the City of Guilds, you went over to Holly Oak, which is where the old maidens live. And you decided to stop by to see how the girls were doing. And as you were approaching, there was a lot of commotion coming from inside of the tree. And the closer you got, the commotion got louder and louder, and eventually the door burst open, and there stood in front of you this old, haggard woman who, after noticing you and sort of looking you all up and down, she approached you. And that is where we will begin our session. As the woman, who looks like this, approaches, she points a finger at all of you and goes, You're the ones! You're causing me all this distress, aren't you? Yes, I can tell just by your looks that you're the ones that Baba Lasaga had mentioned at our meeting. Explain yourselves.
I am not too sure what you're talking about. Just came here to check
Oh,
on
you
my
know
girl.
very well. Back in the Twisted Wood, where you came from, you unleashed my sister onto this world.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I can.
I don't know what's going on with this thing.
Excuse me, we unleashed your sister?
Well, she was quite content in her self-exile. I have no other reason to believe that she would call you out and describe you in near-perfect imagery if you did not do something to bring her back here. You've set me back a few years on my plans, and I'm not very happy about it. Not to mention the fact of these new daughters that I have. How about you explain that one to me as well? Take your time, think of your lies.
How are they doing, by the way?
Do you want to see them worse off than they are currently? I
How
didn't
are
think
they
so.
doing?
Answer the questions that I have presented, and maybe I'll find some touch of good faith to answer yours.
It's nothing but good faith here, like 100% good faith. And I kind of nudge it, Saberwolf, like right.
Indeed. Nothing but good fate. We meant nothing dark by these things that happened recently. I hope that we didn't offend you in any way.
Oh,
But,
you've offended me greatly.
What are these plans? What were the plans? We had no intention of ruining any plans that were coming up.
Exactly. We had no idea.
And that much from your actions I can very well see myself. You don't understand that there's grand things happening beyond your comprehension. But I guess maybe a mortal, that's all I should expect. Useless. But in good faith, I guess. I think I can let you off the hook. Maybe this one time. But no.
We're sorry, Miss Lady.
As I'm
We,
sure you are, Snoopy.
We didn't really mean to be transported to Barovia and then out of our control be pulled out of it, and then other stuff happening, and we've just kind of been on a treadmill. And wait, those don't exist. We've just been on this one way street that we have had no control. We're just trying to stay afloat.
If you're saying that you were pulled into Barovia, that much I can assure you had nothing to do with your own choices. Being brought out of it, though, and I'm assuming the fact that she, and by she I mean Baba Lasaga, was not mourning over her self-appointed son, that means some other force brought you back. How? Who?
I look
or
at
what?
Vicavor.
The old woman looks up at you. You seem to be the one with my answer, and I intend you to answer truthfully.
She looking at me?
Yep.
I just kind of look at.
Do not play me a fool, boy.
Um,
All right, look. Excuse me.
Bop, 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 bop. And she waves her hand, and as Saberwolf starts to move his mouth, no words come out. I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm talking to him, the two-faced one.
all right. As far as I know, Matt, do you know who?
Timar? That is not a name I've heard in quite some time. I thought him dead. But if he's still
Well-
alive and kicking, and he's the reason that you're brought out, might I ask what ties you have to Timar?
He would be my master.
A master? I didn't know
Right.
he took on students.
He
How
he
very
didn't take on.
strange.
I say, he's special.
Yes, to have two faces is quite special indeed.
All right, and then I want to turn around. Let Vic talk to her.
Oh God.
And as you turn around and Vic sees, she like glares at it, and he kind of like keeps his mouth shut. Exactly what I thought.
I'm gonna turn back. Jeez, can you teach me how to do that?
I think it comes with a matter of some sort of persuasion I hold over your dear friend, your other self. She waves her hand, and Saberwolf, you can speak now.
Okay.
So Timar's the reason that you're here.
And we
And
didn't
since
get
he
out of
brought
Barovia
you-
ourselves. I think you know that.
Oh, I can definitely tell that now. Bringing Timar into this whole thing definitely answers a few of my questions. But now, I guess that I have a new thing to add to my list. Let us talk about your idiocracy in adopting those 3 children to give to my 3 girls. What brought you to doing such a thing? Did they not tell you that I had forbid them from doing such? Now Martillo, if he ever finds out, will be a thorn in my side. Or, better yet, perhaps this is what you... Yes, now it's all coming together, yes. Actually, it's a good thing you gave them those daughters. And here's why. Now, you're indebted to me.
Well, ma'am, we honestly
How?
did this for them to make allies. We've been making a lot of enemies lately, and we thought that this would make them very happy, and we could use some friends. So
That makes
whether-
sense.
Sorry for making you angry. You're probably the one we
No.
want to be most friends with. Out of the
Oh,
4
I'm
of you.
touched. And as she looks behind her, you see the 3 maidens kind of peering out the window, and they instantly like duck out of the way, out of sight, and Inniscraft like furrows her brow. As upsetting as it is that they all have taken a kin to these young girls, it does not let you off the hook easily, and here is why. Martillo and I had an agreement that we would not abuse his orphanage in any way, shape, or form. And now we have 3 of his orphans under our care because of you all. If he were to find out, well, it would be catastrophic for the criminal underworld, and that's something that I don't really want to see, but am ready to deal with. But I don't believe that you all are ready for those types of consequences. So if it's friends you seek, I think you owe me 3 tasks, one for each of the little girls that we take care of.
I kind of like bolster my shoulders. I'm like, hey guys, we actually have a debt that is payable, not eternal.
Are you talking in my mind to me, or
No, I kind of
No?
say that out loud.
okay?
Oh, you say, okay, you're asking Snoopy.
Yes. Sorry, I should say that. Okay.
No, I'm just like excited that we kind of got in trouble, but we're not indebted to an immortal life that we destroyed. So 3 is not too bad.
Yeah.
No. And unfortunately, I haven't even the slightest clue of what they could be. But I'll be thinking about it. Make sure you're readily available within the next couple days, because if I try to find you and cannot, I might be very upset. Is
Well,
that clear?
is there a reason that we care for that?
Is there a reason what? You cut out.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me better now? My mic's cutting out. Is it better?
I think so, yes.
Okay. I said, is there a reason that we should care if you're upset?
If you're a fool, then no. But you all seem like you're somewhat smart. But if you want to see me upset, by all means. I don't mind playing a few games.
That's tempting, but let it be known if we do any favors for you, it's because we want to. And right now, as a friend, I have no problem doing favors for you.
You're a curious one, Two-Face. Yes, I will find you within a few days, and I'll give you your first task. Nothing major. First, I need to see what you're capable of. And the more promise you show, maybe the easier I make it. Or if perhaps you show me that you are quite useless, I'll give you a very, 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 very deadly task. Just kidding. Regardless, 3 tasks, and after that, we can talk. Maybe I could help you with your Lasaga problem. She may be my sister, but I'm not very fond of her.
If I might inquire, who is fond of her?
Our mother.
All of your mothers?
I'll tell you one simple thing. My mother is also Baba Lasaga's mother, and she also has a few other daughters. All of us are, I would say, quite powerful. So, I would tread lightly within my family. Except for my daughters, and she shoots a glance back and they all kind of cower in fear. They're pretty useless.
All right.
Your girls are doing perfectly fine. So far, they've been more attracted to Gildred as she's actually able to speak and shows some magical prowess, something you don't see in an orphanage very, very often, especially with Martillo. Usually he adopts them himself.
Saberwolf does a little bit of a sigh.
We will keep good care, and I'll make sure your secret is safe from Martillo. But, of course, if word were to get around from your own mouths, there's nothing I can do, and you will have to face his wrath on your own. And I'll tell you now, if it's anything that I can part wisdom your way, you do not want to be on the wrong side of the Brother Sanguine, especially being mortal.
He's already threatened me.
Of course he has. In fact, My sister told me that she had seen it. You know her, Snoopy.
I
Elsbeth?
would say, yeah, I know Elsbeth. She's awesome. She's my favorite.
Yes.
Besides you, of course.
Kind of gives you a glance, and she's like, she was Mother's favorite, too. She starts to stroke her
To be
chin.
fair, she pet me for like 2 hours, so it's nothing against you. I just don't know you well enough.
Well, and she comes up and sort of bends down and holds out her hand. Take a sniff. This is what your doggy friends do, right? When they want to know someone.
And yeah, so I go over and sniff. Should I do
You
anything?
can do a perception check. So now you have Inniscraft scent, and it's different. It smells oddly like ash. Like think of like a newly burnt down forest, essentially.
Hmm.
Oh, I thought you said ass at first. I was gonna be like, oh damn.
She smelled like booty.
So I like kind of sniff, and then you know how like dogs like do that thing where they really lean forward, ready to come back when they first meet something. So I sniff her, and then I ask, "Hey, Innis, how come,
Yeah.
or where were you during the time where we accidentally made you mad? We're good at that."
I was off handling business elsewhere, and that's all you really need to know.
Okay. Well, I
But
see that there's no need of pressing.
if you prove yourselves as noble in my tasks that I will give you eventually, maybe, perhaps, you will be greater allies than I have first anticipated. But I'll be forthright. I don't expect much from you.
Cool. That's good.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
I think you missed the point, but that's fine.
Well, yeah.
Anyway,
So why do you have
Oh.
no faith in us?
well, you're meddling in things that you don't quite understand. Be it, I guess, it's not quite your fault for my sister reappearing, but these three girls, giving them to my three daughters, did you even meet them by chance? Why would you
Meet
give
who?
3 old women 3 young girls? More than likely, just by looking at them, they'll die within the next couple weeks. How are they supposed to take care of them? Do you
We
not
can
understand
definitely.
children?
I mean, I have a brother. I mean, he's kind of a handful. He's not too bad.
And where is this
No,
brother
it
of
wasn't.
yours?
Point taken.
I say it wasn't our most responsible choice, but remember we were just trying to get somebody's favor, and I think
And
they
honestly,
were the
we were
first
trying,
3 people we met.
and we were trying to get in contact with you.
Why were you looking for me specifically? I'm here. You might as well ask.
No, because we definitely ran into your sister, so we just needed to know more about that and why she is so hell bent. Well, more so, the son is so hell bent on destroying us. Like I got bit, and then I kind of like pull my collar down so she can see.
She walks over. Well, as she starts to study your neck, she ends up like touching the little I guess they'd be scars at this point, and make a dexterity, just a straight dexterity roll for me.
Scars. This happened yesterday.
magical wounds seem to heal a little faster.
Okay.
And as she's touching it, she swipes a lock of your hair, and you feel it as it tugs out of your head, and she scurries back a little bit, and she starts to sniff it. Ah, there is some
What?
truth to what you say. I will have to study this, and she puts it in her pocket.
I like kind of touch where the patch of my hair is gone now. Hey, what? Hold on. What was that for?
You wanted my help, didn't you?
I'm trying to remember.
True.
Sorry, out of character. Did Opal tell us about Innis Craft being against Baba Lysaga?
She didn't tell you she was against in any way, shape, or form. She just told you that Innis Craft would probably be your best location for information, because Innis Craft is... She's probably... I think the way Opal was trying to convey it is Innis Craft isn't open about being part of the Dreadful Seven, but she is open about who she is and where she's located. And since Opal knew, that's why she had pointed you in this direction.
Okay.
Now, my question for you is, I don't believe that Baba Lysaga would be forthright in giving you all this information about me and her. So where did you get this from?
We met and made friends with a woman named Opal. Are you familiar with her?
So she does still live. Very strange. But yet another minor setback. Yes, I'm familiar with Opal. She's a cousin of mine. She gives us a bad name, if I do say so myself.
Well, we
like
weren't
Opal.
that good of friends with her. We were just kind of like, mutual beneficiaries.
In that case, then you're off the hook. But that is interesting to know. And within the Twisted Wood, nonetheless. Well, if you have anything else, make sure you're here in 2 days to ask. Otherwise, I have some things I need to see to, and I'm running a little late. If you wish to say hi to your girls... She turns back, and her daughters are kind of like waiting, and she does like a head motion for them to come outside. You can have a few moments with them. I would say it's a pleasure, but it hasn't been by any means. But perhaps maybe you'll prove yourselves otherwise, and then it will be a pleasure for us both.
That went better than expected.
I have no clue what's gonna happen from here.
Well, let's go get killed by a green dragon, and it'll matter. Anyways.
The old
Yeah.
maidens come outside real quick, and Nile comes up and goes, "Well, thank you. I apologize for our mother's temper. We knew the things that we were asking you to do weren't just. So perhaps maybe this can make up for our transgression in tricking you." And Akita, the older woman, comes out, and she holds out a gold necklace that has it's sort of like, think of a locket, except for you can, like, it's got like a little window to where you can sort of see what's inside of it, and it's empty. So it's this nice looking pendant made out of gold. And as she hands it over to you, who would like to touch it, if anyone?
Not me.
I'll do it. Fuck it.
Okay. So your mage hand pops out, and just for the sake of ease, as your mage hand grabs it, you can feel a surge of magical energy coming through it. We made this ourselves, and it can give you power. But what power do you prefer? And she holds out her other hand, and inside of her hand there are 6 gems. Each one of these will strengthen one of your attributes. You could be smarter, or stronger, or faster, or maybe more durable.
How about more agile?
Okay, well, the green one then. And she takes the green one and puts it into the locket and closes it. It might take a while for the magic to take hold of you, but then you'll feel a little faster.
Neato.
You'll be able to attune to it really quickly, but essentially what this does is while you're attuned to it, you have a +1 to dexterity while you have that specific gem inside of it.
+1, like to the modifier or to the overall score?
To the overall score.
So should I change my dex to 22 or do modifiers elsewhere?
Well, it'll be a +1 dexterity, so that'd put your dex to a 21.
Oh, okay, so it is overall score.
Yeah.
I see.
Are you not happy
That's-
with that choice?
You know,
Here! And she hands you the gems. You can switch them out.
okay.
We'd really thank you for bringing us daughters. Otherwise, we'd never have them. Akita, you're dismissed. And Akita kind of like looks a little upset and okay, and walks back into Holly Oak.
I kind of look around at the group and go, hey guys, I don't know if I really need this. Who's like right on the brink of a breakthrough in a feature for their main class? You know, like who just could use a little bump to be better?
I mean, if you don't want it, I'll take it. I mean, it's up to you.
I don't think it's really gonna help me very much. If you have like an odd number in one of your ability scores,
Well,
min max.
What is an ability score? I don't know what you're talking.
I mean, I can keep it.
I mean, I could, yeah, if the god, by the gods, I mean, I could, my constitution is at 3. I mean,
What is it specifically for?
So it.
So essentially,
Like, what
what
does
you
the
can
item
do
do?
is you can switch out whoever's attuned to it. You can switch out the gem into the socket to get a +1 to, or to get an additional stat point. I'll say makes it sound easier. An additional stat point of any of the 6 ability scores. So,
And so
the
mine are all
red, for instance,
evens?
would be, yeah. That's true. Yeah, I looked at yours. You could use it for intelligence.
Yeah, but that's not worth it, in my opinion. That's like what, an investigation check every 3, 5%
Yeah.
to investigation. But like if someone has a 17 charisma or 19 charisma for their main class using charisma or constitution, it'll be much more useful in your hands. Because if you have an odd for constitution, you'll get 9 HP to your total by using it. or say you have 17 strength and you're using strength. So I don't know other people's stats, but it's wasted on Snoopy.
And, only thing I'd be able to use that for is to get my intelligence out of the negative. That's about it.
What about you, Ethan?
I don't think so. I mean, my only negative stuff, my strength, which is -1, and then
It wouldn't be
Like
your
all-
negatives. It'd be like your.
yeah.
Yours is charisma. Do you have a 20?
What am I looking at for that when I? Oh, charisma is
So on your stat sheet at the like on the left side, charisma says
Mhm.
4 or 5, and then the smaller number.
the smaller
is
number is
that?
18.
Okay, what about like your constitution? Is that a even
16.
or odd?
It's a.
16.
They're all. The only one that's not. an
Your
even number is
intelligence.
It's at
So
11.
that's 3 out of 3 for bad intelligence. For what about you, Gerald?
Gerald could probably only, or he can only use it on his charisma, which is hilarious. Damn,
And
I should have done more research. Actually, I think
will-
Saberwolf, you could use it for your strength to make that a 20,
hell yeah.
or you
and
can
then-
use it on your dexterity to make that a 14, which would give you an extra armor class as well.
All right,
Either
I
of
throw it
those
at
are good
Saberwolf.
ideas.
Yeah, so if you use it.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Sorry for that blatant min-maxing, but
Oh, you're good.
I
Kevin,
tried
which
for a
stat do
second,
you
but-
want?
You said, yeah,
You
guys
can
are
either-
lagging on my end.
Yeah, you can either do it strength, get a +1 in that to make that a 20, which gives you a 5 modifier, or you can do it in your dexterity, which gives you a +2 in your modifier. Dex
That's what's
is
up.
used for quite a bit of stuff. It's used for your initiative and your armor class, as well as, you know, any of those skills. But you being a strength-based character, you know, that would make you technically more powerful in combat situations. But it's up to you.
Honestly, I'll get the dexterity because I have enough strength for right now.
I swear, if
Okay.
you miss the killing blow on this dragon by
By one.
I'm gonna murder you.
Well, technically, for an action, you can switch out the
Oh,
colored
never mind.
crystal.
It's not a big deal. That's cool. We just all had evens. That's about.
Yeah.
I'm about to be pulling some. I'm about to be pulling some
We
Ben
can-
10 shit. where
We
I
can
just
ask for
switch
another
out.
one and maybe.
Yeah, all right, strength mode. All right, dexterity mode. That's what I'm.
You're like, it's like Ben 10's amulet.
Right. I got
I'm
the
going
omnitrix
strength.
of stat points.
Wait, no, that's Danny Phantom.
Again, we can't really thank you enough, and I'm surprised that our mother took it as well as she did. But definitely tread carefully. You don't want to cross her in a bad way. Believe me.
Yeah, she's one of a kind, and I start rubbing that patch in my head.
One request. Can I see my girl?
Gildred! And you watch Gildred like poke her head out, and she starts to run towards you. But the thing you notice is that she's not actually touching the ground at all. She's like walking on the air. Hey Joe, could you mute yourself?
Oh god, I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Seeing that, my eyes light up a little bit.
Look what they
Hey.
taught me.
Hey, that's pretty awesome. Look at you.
Yeah, it's really cool. They're gonna teach me some other stuff, like how to like shoot lightning out of my fingers or something like that, right? Yes, in due time. First, you need to master this. Once you can climb the tree with it, you'll be ready. I'm.
Sounds fun.
It should be, yeah. It's been really cool, but it's been really hard too. And you hear a grumbling coming from her belly.
What's going on?
Oh, it's just punishment for failure, of course. You don't learn unless you're hungry, from what I've been taught. Compliments to Innis. But don't worry, she's succeeded up to today. She'll get her dinner. And you can see Gildred's eyes kind of like widen, and there's like a little bit of drool coming out of her mouth. It's not all that bad, I promise. It's been manageable, and it has actually really helped me push to learning these things faster.
If you say so.
I'm gonna like lean over to say Rolf and be like, yeah, that's pretty normal when learning some of this stuff.
See, he gets it. Judging by him, he really was bad at learning.
You know, in my experience, positive reinforcement behavioral type learning is most effective. But
And perhaps that's why you're a dog.
I mean,
You're just so cute.
and fluffy.
And of course, in my process of becoming what I am, it was no easy feat as well. So I guess I can understand it.
Exactly. Hardship makes you stronger.
All right. Well, is it okay if I continue to visit her whenever we have time?
Sure, I'm not 100% certain if she'll be readily available, but I can give you a status update on her and the other ones as well. Granted, the other two are just mere children. Or babies.
Fair enough. All right. Well,
She's being well taken care of.
good. Hey, weren't we supposed to be getting some poisons potion?
Joe,
Oh, yes.
your mic, Joe.
What? Can you hear something?
Yeah.
A lot of background noise.
We can hear everything. Tell Nicole hello.
Hot mic, Joe. Hot mic.
Yes, I had almost forgotten. I apologize. Nadasana, the vials. And Nadasana comes out and she hands you 2 vials of a dark green liquid. The one on the left is better ingested, and the one on the right can be coated on any sort of weapon that can pierce the flesh. I'll tell you now, the ingested one is very, very, very potent. I would keep the cork on rather tight.
Potent now.
Well, how about you take a sip and find out?
Chug, 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 chug.
Yes.
That's the spirit.
I open up.
Drink it.
Wait, are
open
you
up the
drinking?
cork and take a little sip.
Okay, just a little sip.
No, chug, chug, chug.
Oh, luckily you only take 1 damage. 1 poison damage as you take a tiny little sip. Like the moment it hits your lips, you feel a really a real sharp stinging sensation, and you kind of pull it away. And Nyleg, see. Now to think if you would have taken a whole dose.
Well, This could be useful. So I could essentially turn my right arm into wolf form. So I could dip one of these into this, and it'll become quite deadly, right?
Well, the other one, sure, but it won't be as deadly as the one that you just tasted. And I'll be honest, you tasting that was quite stupid, but very entertaining at the same time. Right, Gildred? And Gildred's kind of like a little upset that you would even do something like that, and she's looking at the ground.
Oh, I'll be okay. No problem. I heal from bad wounds like this often. This is just tiny.
Okay. I just don't want you to get hurt, is all.
Don't worry, I will be okay. I'm nice and strong at that flex.
Yes, you are quite physically strong. The mental might be lacking, but that's fine. Well, Gildred, it's time to get back to work. Okay. It's good seeing you all again. Thanks. And, hopefully next time I learn some new stuff.
Yes, show me next time I come and visit you.
She smiles big, and then you watch as she runs on the air back to Holly Oak. I will say this just as a precaution. She talks about you nightly. The more you visit her, the more distractions I think she'll see. And I just want you to think about that and what it could mean on her training.
Understand. Training is important.
Of course she talks about us nightly. You've only had one night with her.
Very cunning.
But yes, understand. Training is important. Wouldn't want to get in the middle of that.
Yes, well, you all have a wonderful, safe trip on whatever it is you're doing. And I guess we'll see you in a few days. Goodbye.
See ya. I start turn around and walk away.
Okay. Alright, Kirsten, you're with us, right?
Yeah.
So as you guys are walking back, you see the Innis Craft is walking back towards you guys. I've got your first task.
I stop. I stop and look over my shoulder.
That was quick.
Yes, well, can't you smell her? She starts sniffing the air. She's here.
Well, who are you talking about? As I turn around.
Tammy.
That's pretty rude, Brady, to introduce Kirsten like that.
It only gets better.
Can't you smell her?
Yeah. As Innis says that, you guys
sorry.
see coming from about the southeast area, Innis Craft turns around and looks at the sky, and you see this woman flying in on a broomstick. And as she comes and takes a landing, hello, Satan. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. That's her alter ego. Tamsin,
Hello,
hello.
Satan's mistress.
So I have to make you a new token. So I'm going to do that
Yeah.
real quick. Then update
And
your
how
character
many
token.
times have I told you not to call me Tammy?
Do you think I really care? I'm the one helping you, remember? Which brings me to my first clue for you. This group of adventurers here, they're gonna be your escorts for your next task. And for you all, your task is simple. Protect her with your lives.
Hold on, what?
Yes. There's something that I require, something towards the west of here. And Tamsin's going to go get it for me.
And why does she need babysat from us?
She doesn't need babysat, but having other people with her would be a lot simpler for her. Plus, if I do say so myself, what you're going up against, from what I have gathered with our conversation, you could use all the help you could get.
Well, that sounds good to me.
I have my finger under my chin, looking her up and down, like, fair enough. Well, hope you can keep up.
Oh, I'm sure she will.
That won't be a problem.
Now, I'll leave you to it. Tamsin, play nice now.
We'll
And
try.
Miss Craft starts to walk away. Kirsten, if you would like to introduce what your character looks like.
Yeah. About she's a half elf, so she kind of has pointy ears, dark brown or dark black hair that kind of looks bluish, and she's got some tattoos on her. There is a story behind those, but you guys will have to find that out. And she's carrying a black broom with her that allows.
Oh dear. Is she breaking up for anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cutting in and out.
Shoot, dang!
Here she is.
How much did you guys hear?
I think I heard up until you said black broom.
I heard up until
That was pretty much.
tattoos.
She has a black her to fly.
Yeah, she's got a black broom. This portrait here. And she should also show up in your journal now.
I call a group huddle.
Is she included in this or no?
No.
Excluding her?
Yes.
Give us just a second, and I bring everybody along into a little.
Kind of arches an eyebrow at all of you.
Yeah, I look over and I'm like, just 1 second, hamster.
Hamster.
That is
Okay.
also not acceptable.
Okay. I guess we're huddling now, so what's up?
Okay, so why do we have to do this?
Do we have a choice?
I mean, she is one of the people, right? We're trying to still gain this person's favor, right? And now look at Snoopy.
Yeah, I think so. It's probably the only choice we really have.
Yeah,
Besides, she might
and
be cool.
Yeah,
Looks
She
interesting
could be.
enough.
but also, if we're entering any dangerous places, we'll just make her go in first.
Uh huh.
That makes
Exactly.
sense. That makes sense.
Oh, we needed a distraction for the dragon.
True.
How did?
I have a
Hold on,
feeling
but
if
what-
she were to die, that would be bad for us, right?
Well,
Ah, good
Not
point.
as bad
Good
as
point.
us dying.
Brady, can I hear all this going on?
Roll perception. And then everybody else roll a...
But I was gonna say, if it's okay with the group, I want us to be awkwardly loud.
all right.
If that's the case, then yes. No perception needed. You hear them talking.
So
well,
every
just so you all
time
know, it'd probably be the best for me not to die.
I look up,
I'm gonna point that out.
I look up as if I look up at her and then look back to the group. I think she can hear us.
Yeah, and I'm gonna look over. I'm gonna look back over, and I'm like, nobody was talking about anybody dying. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
And then I look up and like shh, 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 and then go back to the group.
Hold on. So what can she do? I mean, we haven't gotten that far, right?
I mean,
Yeah,
she
I mean-
looks pretty magical. I mean,
All
I
right.
can only assume she does magic.
I can do more than you.
I can't. Hold on. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so
Yeah.
so I all in favor for Vikavor to test her. Say aye.
Aye.
For sure.
Aye. All right, buddy. You're up
Nope.
next.
Well, I mean, she looks.
And
like
I
she's good at
start to push. I start to push him as he's talking
Yeah.
out to
She
her.
looks like she's good at cleaning. She brought a broom, so
And
I
I-
don't think nothing to clean around here, though.
As the pushing's not working, I pick Vigor up and put him towards her.
Okay, I'm gonna go like stand. I'm standing in front of her. All right, we just need to see that you're on our level and that you're able to keep up. Why don't you just show us something?
I don't perform tricks. We don't perform tricks on demand.
I'm gonna look back at Snoopy and be like, well, some of us do here. Snoopy, sit.
I sit, and then I sit. I like put my paw out like I'm trying to shake, but no one's.
Damn, that's a good dog. Damn.
And then I gestured. Look at that! Look at that! That's such a brilliant dog. So smart.
Yeah. We just wanna make sure we're not putting you in danger, by going with us.
Oh, we won't be in danger.
No, we are certainly going to be in danger.
Like
Oh no,
it's,
you
it's a
certainly will.
known fact.
We won't.
Oh, you should meet our enemies. Every single one of them want to cut off our good bit.
You should meet mine.
She's good. She's good.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
She has a lot of, I guess, spunk is the word I'm looking for. I like that determination. I mean,
What's your name?
oh, did we? Hold on, yeah, we definitely didn't do that. Oh, okay. So anyway, so my name.
Appreciate you saying I have spunk, but I don't even know who you are.
Oh, so this right here, and I'm pointing at me. I am Quinn. This right here is Saberwolf, and I point towards him.
As I flex a little bit.
Hello, Wolfie.
How do you know I'm a wolf?
Your name is Saberwolf.
That doesn't mean I'm a wolf. I think I'd be an entertainment name. As I slowly turn into wolf form.
Yeah, okay.
That's also the name he dances by.
This right here is Vikavor, and I point towards him.
And I just kind of like put my hand like in front of me and do like a little half bow thing.
Pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
And this little fellow right here is Snoopy, and I begin to like pet him.
And then I like go down, I lay down, and then do a roll. Ta-da!
God damn, that's a good dog.
Yeah,
You are adorable. I like you.
amazing. Such an amazing dog. Oh my god!
Who's the entertainer now?
You were such a good dog. As I start scratching under his chin. You're a good dog. You're such a good dog.
I go next to her and start like talking casually as they're doing that. So, as you've noticed, we are easily distracted.
Yeah, we can see that.
But in times like these, you gotta have some fun somewhere. So,
Oh,
what are we doing
I still
for
have
you?
that fish in my mouth.
Hold on, what fish?
The fish from the
fish
previous
that
session.
Vikavor
I told
fucked
you-
up under the
I thought we were
door.
done with that.
No, I
No.
told you I will tell you when I don't have it before. I
Fish is
still
like
That
have
is
it.
slowly
correct.
rotting as the day goes by.
Don't
I mean, it's
mind
getting a
that.
little
Just for
funky.
context.
Don't mind that stench, and not cast Druid Craft on Snoopy. Definitely around his mouth,
For what?
cause he
What
stinks.
smell? Yeah, but what smell?
For the let's
Do you
do
want
like
it
a
to
li-
always be the same, like the lilac and berries and shit?
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
maybe like a lavender type deal. I guess I don't know.
Okay. So he casts Druid Craft, and all of a sudden, Snoopy, you get a large whiff of lavender in your nose, and you're kind of like, "Whoa, what the hell?" But now you're not stressed out at all.
Oh. Cool.
Also kidding, that doesn't really happen. The lavender does, but you're still stressed, maybe. You're as stressed as a puppy with a fish in his mouth would be,
Yeah.
which
not
is
that
probably
stressed.
0. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what will help with that stress? Drugs.
Yeah, we can go pick up
True.
some of that purple cloud. All
But
right.
there, with the power of positivity, anything is possible with us. Yes. And Quinn, why are you hitting on?
I think this is
AFK
one of
King.
Gerald's infamous.
No, I'm right
Hey,
here,
hey,
y'all.
oh.
Chill. Say what it is that you were saying again.
Yeah, with the power of positivity, anything's possible within this group. And Quinn, why are you hitting on her? As I walk towards him.
Am I?
You're getting quite close and being all nicey. We just got a new member of the group. She is a partner in crime. She should help us with our future heist, right, Vikavor?
Maybe, but hang on. Maybe she would be interested in this magical tiara we have.
Yes, the tiara. Edith, you look like someone who needs a tiara. Can you wear this tiara? Show beauty.
We don't wear tiaras. Thank you, though.
Well, how
No,
about
no,
a
no.
magical wooden bracelet?
Yes, indeed. Bracelet. It's magical. And it's wooden.
What does it do?
Oh, funny you should ask, as I slowly back up and start gesturing towards the tiara. This tiara is taken off the head of a dangerous ogre. This ogre was so powerful. It's magical. We had no clue. We almost died in the fight. This tiara can grant you immortality.
Mm,
Yes, bask in the ambience of the immortality. Well, it would nourish your soul. You can feel it as long as you wear it. Would you be interested in this mighty tiara for
no.
gold? Just
Yeah,
50
no.
gold.
We're not interested in wearing.
Just 50 gold a day.
You keep saying we.
Ever.
Yeah, I was just about to
Yeah.
ask about that.
Yeah.
You keep using that word. I do not think it means.
Oh, well,
I'm gonna interrupt Sarah real quick. Sarah, why are you giving her such a good deal? You told me 200 gold yesterday.
Hey, that's because you have two faces. She has cool tattoos on her face.
Hold on, let me see this broad.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
hey,
Uh-oh.
I forgot to
hey.
introduce them.
Oh man, this is this
Yeah.
fella here.
Here
Vikavor,
we go.
I don't think
have
I
fun.
don't think I have my hood down yet, so I pull my hood down and I flip around real quick. Give Vic a look.
Holy shit. Now, Vikavor, if we're not getting with that, you're an idiot.
I get next to Tamsin's ear, like, yeah, that guy is he's a special guy. He's a really special guy. Yes.
So, Kirsten, for your, so you know, this is Vikavor. This is what he looks like. On the back of his head is another face that looks like an older gentleman,
Okay.
and you can definitely tell that he's not supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna talk to Vic. Be like, well, Vic, why don't you give it a shot? And I move closer, walking backwards.
Well, do we
Wait,
have
hold
a
on, out of
shot?
character. This is like a Voldemort situation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a Professor Quill.
Person. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Vic. She's a little shorter than us. Bring us down a little bit.
I'm gonna like slouch a little bit.
I'm like standing in between them, like looking in anticipation.
And he eyes
Vic.
you real closely. And then he takes a sniff. Huh. Yeah, Vic, we're good.
Alrighty then. You think she's safe to travel with us?
Yeah, I think she'll be quite the companion. She's definitely nice on the eyes, but I can smell there's potential there.
You can keep
Sound-
your nose to yourself.
Ooh, a feisty one.
All I know is next encounter, it sounds like she's got this one. So,
Calm down. We got such plans for you.
all right. So I start to move forward to where we gotta go.
Was that supposed to be as creepy as it sounded?
Yes and no.
Which part?
We've got plans for you.
Hey, now we have an attractive member of the team. We could use you for such things. Nothing like what you're thinking. I'm talking about like swindling people.
I've certainly had a colorful enough background that I could potentially help if the price is right.
See. So many plans. You, me and you, me, you and him. We are gonna be rich by the end of this. But first, we have shit to kill. So on we go as I start walking with Quinn.
We have shit to kill.
Not wrong.
No,
Oh,
hang on
but-
a second.
What part are we dealing with first?
Yeah.
Dealing with the doggy? Or are we deep going with the spiders? Or are we handling the bats? What are we gonna do?
Probably the dragon.
Huh, funny dog. Let's start
Well-
small.
That's probably what the gods think we're gonna do.
Yes, but the gods, they'd could steer us in the wrong direction at some point. Like we could all die and never be heard from again. And this what gracious introduction we got to our new member of the squad could have been cut short, right?
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. All right, let's start with the dogs first, and then jump into the dragon second. How about that? Besides, I feel like slamming. How would you say this? Slamming a bitch. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't know. I'm just in a. Now that I'm actually in a good mood. I feel like cracking some heads. So I guess doggies first, right? Dogs, and then once we're all warmed up with our new toys, move into the dragon.
True. Let's get a move on then. Let's start off.
What is the mission that Timmy needs to do?
Yeah,
Did you just call me
dum.
Timmy?
Yeah.
No, Tammy.
I say damn.
What
It's
was
okay
I
if I call you
will
Tam.
is it
injure
Tam-
you if you call me
Tam-
Tammy.
What about
Was it
Tam?
Timothy or
Tamsin. And apparently only Inniscraft is allowed to call me that because everyone is afraid of her.
What about Damlin? Is that fine?
Tamsin.
Dam?
T-Dog?
Tamsin.
Aki? I go for a
Anyways,
fist bump.
what are we supposed to do?
Tam it is. And then I walk away.
God.
We will hurt you.
Oh yeah, you never answered that question about the we thing.
And I'm not ready to.
You're not ready to, or you both aren't ready to?
We're both not ready to, but mostly me.
Interessante. All right. What is it that you needed to do in the West? That we're
That's a great
supposed to
question.
babysit you for?
I have an item I'm supposed to grab for Innis.
Ooh, I stop. An item. What are we talking about?
That's for me to know and for you to find out.
Why don't we do this? Why don't you help us on our quest first? And if you do a good job, we'll help you on yours.
Well, you said you guys were gonna go fight a dragon?
Uh-huh.
Okay, then we're good to go. I'll come join.
Got him.
Okay. Hey, Vikavor, you look like a one-liner kind of guy. I walk away.
Got him. I'm not interested in talking anymore.
All right, so we're going for the dragons or the dogs, guys? Come on, decide
Dogs
this real quick.
first. Got the warm
I vote dragon.
Dragon.
Quinn?
I'm down for whatever.
Hey, no. You have to give us an answer.
We're not playing
Dragon
Dungeon
or
and then
dwarf?
Shadow Dogs. We're playing Dungeons and Vegas. Come on.
I like that
True.
logic.
I say dragon. Let's do dragons.
Oh shit, we're dead.
Yeah. All right, dragon and dwarf.
Okay. So let me bring you guys to the good old world map, which is to scale. From what you guys know, from what Corgus told you, is this is the forest where you'll find the dragon. I'll say that because Snoopy has lived here, or been here for a while, Tamsin has been here for a while, you guys know that the safest route to get there is to follow the road, essentially, and at the fork go up to the city that is called Greendrift. Likewise, you can go to Dire Vale and go on towards the coast, but there are usually sheer drops into the ocean, and it's also home to a lot of creatures that live on the side of cliffs, and it's usually not easy to traverse at all. Likewise, you could go through the fields, but typically it doesn't let for anything other than like foot traffic. Like there's no way you could get a cart, or you could probably do horses if you guys go and look for horses. But the paved road is probably the best. Which way?
Well, first, we should probably remember what our real mission is. We need to get the dragon eggs.
Hey, Tamsin, how are you with sneaky?
I'm pretty good with sneaky.
I mean, how are we gonna get them back?
Uh, you know what? I would assume how many eggs are we? It honestly really depends on how many eggs there are. 'Cause I'm assuming if it's one big egg, I could carry it myself, considering me being strong and all. But if it's multiple eggs, multiple smaller eggs, I mean, I guess we can all each hold one.
I look at Saberwolf. Do you really think I can carry one? Do I look like
You're,
Max
you're,
from the Grinch?
you're strong, puppy. I assume you could.
You think we could like get a cart?
Maybe. Where would we find one though? I mean, unless anyone has any crafting expertise that we don't know about. Where we can,
We're
like,
in the
just
biggest
one on a
city
planet.
in the whole like world. I'm sure there's a place to buy carts at the cart store.
You guys are at the gate, correct? I'm assuming the gate of the city, like you guys were walking and talking on your way to the main road.
Yeah.
You all said you need a cart?
Hell
And you
yeah!
see this group. There's 2 carts being pulled, and they've got a bunch of different carpenter tools and supplies, and they're mostly young gentlemen. But the guy that calls out to you, he's an older, bearded fella. Where y'all headed to that you need a cart for? We're on our way to Green Drift to do some repairs that the gnolls destroyed. If you're heading that way, we could give you a ride if you promise protection.
Right
Are
to
we?
Green Drift Pleasant. We'd love to join.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we promised?
We got plenty of food too. I'll be up front with you. The area around here in these parts is still not the safest of places for common folk like ourselves. But we ain't got the coin to protect folks. But maybe if we can fill your bellies, you'll protect us from all the gnolls that are out there. Which there ain't
Sounds
many
good to
from what
me.
I've heard.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan if y'all are down.
As long as I get the
Perfect.
correct heads, I have no problems with it.
Well, go ahead and just find a place that's comfortable for you. The name's Jordan. Pleasure to meet y'all.
Saberwolf.
We are pleased to meet you, Jordan.
And
Just gonna
as you
nod
guys
at Jordan. Go ahead.
as you guys get
Are-
onto the carts and stuff, he yeah and starts going at a pretty moderate pace. And as you guys are going down the road, let me see. It will take roughly 2.5 days of travel ish, with resting and stuff like that for these commoners. And but as you guys are going, Jordan kind of looks back a little bit. So what you all doing outside of town for?
You know, little jobs, odds and ends, making some extra gold. You know.
Oh, if it's gold you're looking for, then Green Drift's the perfect place. They're always looking for strong folks to help rebuild their town after the gnolls took it over. Did a pretty bad number on them. All these demon lords and stuff popping around, making common life a lot more dangerous than it used to be. And I'll tell you, it was already pretty dangerous.
So hold on, what happened with the Knoll situation? They just randomly attacked.
Well, not in particular, apparently about, I don't know, 8 months more or so ago, down in the city of Crom, which is about 2 days travel from here, straight south, some sort of dark ritual, some sort of mass town sacrifice happened with the Knolls, and they summoned that demon lord named Yanagu. Well, they ended up starting to rampage all throughout these parts, started to burn stuff, take caravans for slaves. They would eat the men and sell off the women and children. Pretty dark time. Anyway, they ended up drifting up towards Green Drift, where they were able to get easier access to the ocean. For some reason, I don't know how they did it, but they were able to amass a pretty small fleet, and they sailed off towards the west for whatever reason, leaving all town in shambles. But they didn't kill everybody, so I guess that's a little bit of a blessing. Maybe the gods are smiling down on us still. But what we've heard, and what's been rumored, is that the Knolls still have a small pack around here somewhere, but they've been pretty low-key, trying to let everything brush over before they start their attacks again. But smaller caravans have gone missing in the past couple weeks, so it's better safe than sorry. Could be anything, but we do appreciate you all being our helping hand.
No problem. As long as we get some compensation for it, I have no problem with it myself.
Well, like I said, we'll give you the ride for the protection. We ain't got much coin on us, but we do have food. Plenty. It looks like your dog's already got himself a feast.
I look at him with the fish and probably some of the guts spilling out by now. Just all happy.
Don't you think it's about time for him to eating that already? Starting to
Don't
get a
mind
little
him.
dirty.
Yeah, don't mind him. He's a bit possessive.
As most pups are. He's about a cute fella, though.
Oh, he's a very, very sneaky creature. As I give him like a pre-cartoony look.
So as you guys are traveling, if you have any questions for these common folk, be thinking about them. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna do the same. Right back.
Okay. People that are still here. So I don't know. I don't really want to get distracted with other quests along the way of our main quest. You know what I mean? Are you guys on board, or you want to do all these anything side quest wise?
I don't know if we really have a choice in some of these things.
Yeah. I guess I should
But-
say, like, just in case there is, like, he's like, hey, why don't you go do this thing for me, you know?
You want to fight the dragon. Well, that's fine.
I know we get kind of not distracted, but like we kind of end up doing
Yeah, we get
other things a
distracted.
lot.
We get sidetracked.
Yeah.
I think it would probably depend on what entails in the side quest.
Yeah.
Because
Because
in
if it's just
reality,
like along the way, then maybe.
the dragon is a side quest.
Oh, okay.
I guess
Like,
we really don't have any direction really with anything. I guess right now it would be our main quest. Like what else are we even doing?
well, we're supposed to be thwarting the demon lords and the Dread 7, and also doing jobs for the underground whatever. And now
Yeah.
doing quests for a different hag, and trying to save the twisted wood.
Yeah. At this point, I don't care too much about Twisted Wood. I might just send a fireball in that direction.
Maybe if Krayshow would have answered us one goddamn time.
That guy sucked. He never got back.
Hey, how can we reach you? Do this, and then never when we needed him. All right, fuck you, Angel Forest. Sorry for
If only you would have
saving
tried
your
one more
baby.
time.
I remember one time we sat on that one treehouse thing, and like literally each of us rolled a nature check, and we like, and nothing happened. With all of us.
Do you guys have any questions for these folks?
I don't think I've given myself away as a sentient dog yet, have I?
No.
So no.
I don't have any.
I just have a rapier and a kukri tied to me, and some armor and a cape and an eye patch. No foul play here.
Okay.
Crossbow mounted on my back.
This whole thing is about to be hilarious with Snoopy and that sentry bot he has.
And Goopy.
Right? Like, dude, he's a hack.
I feel like a druid trying to control the shit.
You know what? I'm still thinking about these stones. Like, should I stick with the dexterity or should I switch it to strength real quick? 'Cause I don't know if...
So, dexterity, what that's going to help you with your AC. What is your AC?
16.
So really, that's not going to save too many hits for you.
So I might as well just stick with strength then.
Dex saving throws are important, but
even like I have like monk abilities to
just
help with those things.
But when you're hitting so many times, 5% extra chance to hit is huge. And one more damage every time. And since you're a monk, you throw out like 7 hits per turn sometimes.
Right.
That damage output changes a lot by the amount of times that you hit, and so I would say go strength. And you grapple. That's a strength, contested strength. I think strength is the better option.
So, yeah, honestly, yeah, strength.
Switching it. Okay, I'll switch that for you real quick. I almost gave you a plus 10. How'd you roll a 30? Okay. So the next 2.5 days, as you guys are traveling, the sort of things that you see is you can see the vegetation is slowly starting to grow back. You can see that some trees, especially once you get to this sort of crossroads like right here, a lot of the trees to the southwest area are still sort of burnt and charred. But you can see that the vegetation is starting to grow back slowly. You see a lot of what look to be some sort of like remnants of devices with chains attached to them for whatever reason. And Jordan goes, "Yep, down that city, whole population, about 100, 150 folk, all sacrificed to bring that Yanagu feller this here plane. Very tragic day, honestly. I had a lot of good friends in there, but, you know, some folks did survive from what I heard. I haven't seen them since, and I can't believe that life is worth really living after that day." Those little cross beams you see with the chains, they would take folks and essentially like get them on the verge of death to where they're just about to bleed out. They would hang them there for days. No food, no water. In fact, if it were to rain, they'd come out and make sure that they weren't able to sip it from the sky itself. Cruel creatures. Some sort of like warning device. Make sure that any caravan knew what their fate would be if they traveled too close. Really wish that someone would have been there to be able to stop it all, but I guess the powers that be have a plan.
Brady. Well, hang on.
Yep.
Is anybody else? Is Brady breaking up for anybody else? It might just be me, I guess. Okay.
Am I breaking up for anyone else or just Ethan?
Just Ethan.
Yeah, I heard you fine.
I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
All right.
You're sounding robotic, sir.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Test 1 2, Ethan. Test 1 2.
Perfect. Yeah, it was me. Sorry, guys. I
right.
heard what you were saying, but it just was choppy. But I heard everything you said.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Sorry.
You all have to face these demon lords at all?
You know, I fear at some point soon, maybe.
Well, you look all pretty strong. Strength in numbers is what they say. I believe it. I hope that day never comes for you, but, well, if that's what the powers that be wish, then, well, I'm sure they got some sort of grand plan.
I hope you're right. As I start scratching my head.
Should be there in about a day and a half. And as you guys continue more towards the west, everything doesn't look to be as charred. Looks like the trees were essentially caught fire kind of in a wildfire fashion and eventually just sort of petered out on their own. But once you get to right before this crossroad right here, everything starts to look lush again. You can actually see sort of in the dirt road, you can see the path has definitely been traversed quite a bit lately, but most of it goes towards the left, and the caravan starts to take a right.
Doesn't look too bad around here.
No, they don't really seem to fancy being too close towards large settlements and stuff like that. But, yeah, Green Drift and Crom were definitely smaller villages, something more manageable for a pack of hungry gnolls. Divale, it's not the best of places. It's a little less busier than the City of Guilds, but ultimately it's still got the same things to deal with there.
Other than them, are there any other potential threats that may be a danger to everybody besides those things?
Not from what I've heard, actually. It's pretty safe in this area. Actually, if you believe it or not, there's a ogre settlement that started up about 8 or so months ago, right around when all this Demon Lord stuff started popping off, over there by Lawnburg, down in the southeast region. And they're essentially helping with the lumber mill and stuff like that, which is where we just came from. We was delivering a load of it to the City of Guilds before heading off to Greendrift. The wacky sight seeing ogres, something that we thought was a menace to society, working together with civilization.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Goes to show that not everything, I guess, can be taken at face value.
Indeed. Not
Is
every creature is the same.
yeah, is that like uncommon over here or something?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, very much so. Typically, ogres they like to ramble around with like goblinoid sort of creatures, you know, and they usually do a lot of pillaging and destruction. But these ogres, something different about them. I've not really gotten my finger on it or gotten the story out of anybody, but apparently they've moved in trying to find a new home, and they were welcomed with open arms and started helping out to make a good reputation for themselves.
Yeah, that's certainly different from what people have dealt with in the past. It's pretty interesting.
Yep.
But
Yeah, I decided a long time ago it's probably not best to think of somebody as being vicious just because they look vicious, you know? Like, actually, are you in your wolf form right now?
no, I'm in my human form at the moment.
How long can you keep that up for?
Uh, I guess during the trip I was like switching from wolf to human.
Yeah, okay. So at this point in the trip, he'd be like yourself, you know? It was kind of weird just seeing you all of a sudden become a wolf man, but I didn't think nothing of it.
Uh, yes, quite the being a traveler all my life. I mean, it's kind of uncommon for people. People see me as more of a stage attraction, given the circumstances of barely seeing one of my kind
Hold on, wait
before.
a sec.
But
You're a traveler? You're not from the quarantine?
not at all.
Huh. Well, that's mighty strange. Have you been to the quarantine then?
Hmm. Heard heard stories, but never been there.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
what's in
where
the
your
quarantine?
people. It's a whole little. I guess you could call it more of a village of sorts of lycanthropes, all different manners. You got your werewolves, you got your were-tigers, were-rats, were-owls, were-ravens, all types of were-creatures living there in somewhat harmony. But they're led by a gentleman named Sergio Casero. He's the leader of a
Oh,
group known as the Silver Guardians. You ever heard of them?
oh, I've definitely met him. Had the pleasure of being able to hold his grip in my hand.
Oh, I'm surprised that you kept your hand. Well, maybe not so much as you being just like him, I guess.
Yeah, I assume it's a mutual respect. I hope. I may be meeting him pretty soon. He may be able to teach me some new things.
Well, hopefully so. He's actually trying to make it to where they can stop living inside the quarantine and start intermingling with the folks outside, but city officials don't really like that idea, which is why they keep them chained up.
Mm,
What do you mean
that's
chained up? Can people just not go in and out of there or something?
Yeah, not without any sort of special permission. Now, the City Watch does make sure that they've got plenty of food and water to survive, and they're able to sort of house their own gardens and such, but you know, it just ain't the same when you're kind of stuck in a place. You know, now that I think about it, the whole reason that place even got built, it was going to be a different sort of like one of the smaller little townships within the city of Guilds, and then all of a sudden there was a rise in lycanthrope activity. People were starting to get infected, starting to change, and you know, depending on I guess how it is you get infected, sometimes you lose complete and utter control, and you just go on a bloody rampage, especially at the full moon. And that was happening a lot. A lot of folks died during that resurgence of lycanthrope uh, curse, I guess you would call it. So they made that, and City Watch was pretty aggressive on containing everything. And I guess they just haven't fully gone to trust what's going on, which is what Sergio Casero's trying to change. Very noble man with a noble cause, just trying to give a better life for his people. Not really their fault, you know. Just like I'm sure you didn't choose your form, but correct me if I've overstepped.
Hmm. No, you're okay. Well, I had the benefit of being born with this curse rather than having it bestowed on. So, being an orphan, I don't know if my mother or my father had said curse. I just know I was born with it.
Well, you seem like an alright group of folks, so I'm hoping that maybe one day that quarantine can be fully opened and hopefully renamed to something different, something a little less menacing.
Right. Sounds like sick folk are going there.
I also had a question for. So, when you drop us off, how long are you going to be staying here?
Well, really what we're doing is we're just dropping off the lumber for them to start, and then we'll probably set out the next morning to go and get another batch. But if you need us to stay for a little while, we don't mind staying back. We do the
Oh,
same
you
sort
read
of
my mind.
deal.
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
need
can do the
passes
same
back, and
arrangement.
cool, and we may be bringing something back with us. So, I just didn't want it to be a problem.
Ah, it'd be perfectly fine.
All right, much appreciated. Uh, Quinn, well, the whole group. How long do you reckon it'll take us to get this job?
I have no idea. I've never dealt with a situation like this, so
Yeah, well, I guess we're winging it. Hopefully, it doesn't take us too long.
exactly.
I send a message to Saberwolf. I say, we can offer him some money to make him stay as long as we need.
I message back. How much we're talking? I know after that auction, I am flat broke.
Well, we can do like 25 now, 25 later.
See what he thinks about it. Hey, sir, I feel bad.
Feel bad about what?
Just having you like 25 gold now and 25 gold when we get back.
Excuse me? 25 gold just for staying around?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'll be your personal chauffeur for that kind of money.
All right.
I don't think
Very
I've ever
good.
seen that much gold at one time, to be honest with you. So, your act of generosity is, it's going to bring me to tears. And he kind of like hides his face a little bit and pulls out a handkerchief. I've been working hard for my family all my life, and I don't even think I've amounted to that type of coin.
I look at Saberwolf and send him a message. He ain't going nowhere, and I wink at him.
Did you wink under the eye patch or other eye?
This time, other eye.
Okay.
Yes. Let's just say you were in the right place at the right time.
Snoopy's
Happen to
noticed that
need,
habit.
Happen to need transportation. And fortunate enough to
He
be around.
he pulls out a little pendant from underneath his shirt and he kisses it and looks up at the sky. God's all watching us. I appreciate it,
We hope
friends.
not.
Kind of gives you a sideways look. Well,
I'm just kidding.
I guess. No, I mean everybody's inclined to believe what they want. I meant no offense by it.
None taken.
So the rest of your trip goes by without any issue. You do see, like, every now and then you can kind of see, like, a couple 100 feet away, like a Knoll scout that's kind of looking out at the road. And as they take a closer look, they can see that you guys are kind of armed to the teeth, and they run away into the bushes and stuff like that. You guys end up making it to Green Drift after about 2.5 days of travel. When you get there, the thing you notice is that there's probably like probably anywhere between 5 to 10 like current construction projects going on various housing and public buildings and stuff like that.
Question. Do we get hit die back?
Yeah, you guys would have. We'll say that is a long rest since nothing or a full rest. So you should have all your hit dice back. You should have all your HP, spell slots, class, racial abilities, everything.
Thank you. Kind DM.
So as you guys get
DM that
in,
loves his party and doesn't want to see them go.
as you guys roll into town, Jirdan gets the cart to about the middle of the town, like in the middle of all the construction projects, and a stout dwarf approaches. Ah, Jirdan, back with another shipment. Perfect. And you brought some muscle with you. Are they all here to work? Ah, no. No, they're not, Therimer. But we'll be, taking a little bit of a break. It was kind of a rough road on the way up. So hopefully you got some housing completed for maybe an inn or something like that. The dwarf kind of shakes his head. Nope, inn's gonna be done probably in 2 days' time or so. We've got a couple other things to do before we finish inspecting it, and we can start opening it up for business. But feel free to pitch your tents anywhere. And you all, and he's kind of pointing at your party, if you're looking for work while they're here in town, we've got plenty of construction going on.
We'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
So, might I ask then, if you're not here to work with these guys, what are you doing?
Kind of got an outside job to handle. Shouldn't take us long. Once we get this finished, we'll be freed up right after.
Oh, well, I'm assuming you know where you're going then.
That brings us to another question. You happen to know... and I'll look at Snoopy. And then back at him. Happen to know of talks of a green dragon.
As you say green dragon, most of the people that are within earshot of you, which would only be like within the 30 feet of you, like some of them are hammering or sawing wood, and they all of a sudden stop and just like look over at you. And the dwarf kind of crosses his arm around his chest. Now, before I answer your question, let me retort with my question of my own. Are you stupid? Or are you looking to die?
Maybe a little of both.
I do happen to know where you're best to look. But are you sure that's what you're really trying to do?
As sure as my willingness to do the job.
Well, he kind of looks towards the west, and you can see a sort of like it's not decently jam packed of like trees and stuff, and you can see past it for a few miles, and beyond that is a clearing, and beyond that, like barely over the horizon, you see a large forest. Well, that over there, that's the forest of Lasarth, the jealous one we call her. Mighty great beast. The green dragon you're looking for is somewhere in that forest, but I'll tell you now, it's not for the faint of heart. I'd probably start at Willowwood Falls, probably around the center, little north of here, on the outskirts of the lake. People say that it's enchanted, where if you make a generous sized donation, your wildest dreams come true. But those people also never come back from their trip. The ones that believe, anyway.
Oh, that sounds quite interesting itself.
And a little word to the wise. It is, from what I can understand, the breeding season for these great beasts. And greens are mighty protective of their young.
Kinda figured that, but I'm sure we would all manage.
Jiren,
So you,
or
oh,
Jordan.
sorry.
Oh, you go ahead.
So you guys see Snoopy do that meme dog again with the eyes, and that's all you see.
Jordan hops down and goes, "So you're all just gonna go? Are you trying to kill the beast, or what exactly are you trying to do with it?"
It quite complicated, but
All right.
could ultimately lead to us killing the.
And the dwarf kind of looks around and goes, "Honestly, that would be great."
Hmm? Causing trouble around here.
No, shh. And he kind of like does that like gesture towards his throat to like silence, like don't talk about it. I don't think you'd ever have a chance with her, honestly, but I mean, if you're willing to die, go for it. People always looking for glory, do that kind of stupid thing. I wish you luck.
Have you seen this dragon before? Or one of the green
No,
dragons around here? Okay.
no, and I hope I never do.
All right.
All right, so thank you for the directions once again. We'll make it back in one piece.
And while you're out there, I guess, if you end up coming up on a trail, there was folks with some cart. They were trying to make their way towards the coast for some reason, and well, they left a few days ago, and we haven't heard from them since. But they look to be honest folk. We're just curious of their whereabouts.
Okay, so you wanted us to confirm or deny if they're living?
More or less, yeah.
Can do. All right. Any more questions for him?
No, I'm good.
All right. I guess once again, thank you for the information. We'll make it back in one piece. I hope.
Well, I certainly hope so too. Safe journey.
So everybody leaves, but then Snoopy's just kind of like sitting there with that same look on his face. And it takes me like probably 15 seconds to like realize you guys are gone, and I come up to you guys and go, if it's breeding season,
He said
and
north into the woods.
if it's breeding season, and she laid eggs, that must mean there's a daddy dragon.
Now you're seeing my worries. This is exactly why I did not want to do this. But we are already here. Don't want to waste the trip unless you want to waste that $25 for nothing, or 25 gold for nothing. It's up to you.
Let's keep going.
All right. House trips. You ready for it?
Okay, so you guys go ahead and start heading towards the west, and go ahead and everyone roll me a perception check. Okay. So as you guys are leaving, you guys notice there's a small sort of like lake towards your south, and then there's a larger lake up to the north. Inside, what Quinn, Vicavor, and Snoopy can kind of see is that there's like it's not a very large river or anything like that leads into the forest. But it's a decent sized, and you can tell from the way that the water's flowing that it's definitely coming from some greater source of water. Other than that, everybody, as you start getting closer and closer to the forest, you suddenly start to see, sort of in the mud, you can see cart tracks. And the cart tracks look to be fairly fresh, from what Vicavor and Snoopy can tell. Probably just a couple days old, if anything.
Well, guys, I found the cart tracks, and something about that river seems notable.
Yeah. Brady, is the river flowing in the direction that we need to go, or opposite direction we need to go?
The river's flowing into the lake.
Into the lake.
So it's
Okay.
coming from the forest and draining into that lake.
Okay.
How close are
Is
we
this
to the
weird
lake?
to us, or I'm just wondering why we noticed that? Or is that just like you setting the scene? Is there something weird about this
Setting the
river?
scene. No.
Okay.
I guess my ultimate goal was the gentleman told you to go to a waterfall.
Okay. I just was wondering because like sometimes a DM will like describe a scene and the whole party now think that's a plot hook. So
Oh yeah.
yes,
What is this chair? What does it mean?
exactly that.
It's
Shit,
just
yeah.
a chair.
Are we close to the lake?
I mean, you guys are walking towards the coast, and it's actually a fairly large lake. It's about 4 miles, 4.5 miles wide.
Do the tracks kind of follow the lake a little bit?
Yeah, they follow the coast, and then they veer off. It looks like from following the coast into the forest a little bit. And I'll say with Snoopy, and Vicavor, as you guys start to get closer towards the forest, you actually start to see these footprints. You two, you can bring this up to the party, and I'll allow one person that is proficient in nature to roll. If there are two people proficient in nature, then you guys can decide which one of you can roll with advantage,
Oh man, I'm
or you can
definitely.
both roll.
Yo, I should roll. Hey, y'all want me to roll?
Only not me.
Are you proficient in nature?
Not at all.
Yeah, so you can't roll.
Quinn, are you proficient in nature?
is.
Funny story. But yes, I am.
I vote
Well,
Quinn.
hopefully.
Oh, is he the only one proficient in nature? Yep. All right, Quinn, go ahead and roll a nature check as you guys are looking at these footprints. As you sort of like look around and you're looking at the shape, it takes you probably like 30 seconds, no more, no less, and then you're able to, these are lizard folk tracks.
I announced that to the group.
And so
Is
these
it-
seem to be tracking the cart or like going along with the cart.
Correct.
Well, these guys are dead.
Well, you don't to make it so quick to assume. I mean, maybe they are the folks they're talking about.
Yeah, if it's lizard folk track, then it's safe to assume they're dead.
Well, they could be friendly lizard folk.
Exactly. It's so quick to assume that they're hostile. I mean, there's some, like the gentleman said about ogres. There's nice ogres. There's bad ogres. There could be nice lizard folk. There's bad lizard folk. Who's to tell? Either way, we have the dragon to deal with. I could care less.
Well, should we make our way to the river? That's probably our best chance of finding a waterfall.
Yeah,
See,
but are these people really our problem? Do we care that much? Or are we just here for the dragon?
honestly, we
I'm
could
with
just
him.
easily lie. But then again, yeah. So,
How about? Yeah, I don't know.
either way, I don't see ourselves having to be back in this town anytime soon. Let's just get the job done and get back.
Yeah, if we happen to see some carcasses and a wagon or something, then we'll let them know. But we should get moving.
Right.
Say, Tammy, T-Dog,
Tamsin.
Tamsin. So we're about to go against the biggest foe that we've ever faced. We all have our little abilities. What can
Mhm.
we expect from you?
Magic.
Of what sort?
I mean, I have a daughter who does magic, but what kind of magic do you do?
We do all sorts of magic.
Is it like cleaning magic with the broom, or
No.
Would you say you're
Um,
gifted or learned? Or like him? That point at Vicamore.
So is this going to be an ongoing thing? You're just saying we are many, you are but one kind of deal?
we don't know you well enough yet to tell you our entire life story. But if you run into trouble, we can definitely help.
All right. Well, fair enough. I
Hey,
won't pry more.
Brady, do we
mean-
know what a green dragon does?
Do I know? Yes.
I know you know. I know you know. I know, and you know everybody in this
Yeah.
party knows. But do our characters know?
You should let me roll.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember what. You guys can all roll a history check. The DC will vary on if you're proficient in it or not. And I'll know if you're proficient based on your roll modifier.
Oh dear.
Yikes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Man, you
Uh,
are absolutely.
So far, what you know about green dragons is that they live in forest, they are green, and it is mating season.
Okay.
So helpful.
And that their skin color probably has nothing to do with the type of damage they produce.
I'll give everyone pretty much knows the story of dragons, that green dragons, they're like, all dragons have a special sort of like breath weapon, and green dragons cause this poison cloud. I'll give you that.
The poison.
Does anybody have protection from poison still? Because that would be useful.
I have protection against acid.
You guys hear that coming from the forest?
It's probably the dragon. He knows we're coming.
Hey,
Uh,
anybody want to
Bro,
go
I
check
like
that out?
jumped. I'm like, what is that?
That scared the shit out of me.
I'm glad I have my audio
Perfect.
turned down. Anyone I'm not the only one who heard that, right?
Yeah, but I heard it, but I still don't know if it's my problem.
Let's go check it out.
We can
You
go look.
check
I
that
still
out.
don't know if it's my.
You want to go check that out, Snoopy? Go ahead. I want to focus on the task.
You know, on second thought, we could go look. Maybe there's some good loot to be had.
You two check it out. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Go ahead and check that out. As a matter of fact, Tamsin, you want to go over there with them? You're the new girl. You can go ahead and get some experience from this.
She can fly.
Right.
True. What?
You must be a scaredy wolf.
I'm not a scaredy wolf, but I know when something's not my problem.
I think we can all agree that this is not our problem.
Yeah.
See,
But Tamsin, why don't you just fly over there real quick? Do a quick flyover and see what you see.
And make sure it's not our problem.
Why don't you just walk over real quick and make sure it's not our problem?
That seems like a lot more work.
And I think you can fly though, right?
Yeah, you can fly, right? As the honorary new member, you should that should be your first task. Is to
Okay,
check
how
and see
close
if
was
it's
the scream? Like, we heard it. Is it like right here? Or is it...
So you guys are at the coast, and it's a couple hundred feet away from you, inside of the forest.
Hey, Victor,
Oh,
throw a
okay.
fireball.
Is it? Oh no! Don't do that! Don't do that!
We can start burning stuff if we want to.
No. Hold on. So real quick, Brady, does that scream? Did it go? Is it in the same directions as the tracks are going?
Yep.
All right. Quinn just decides to go.
I'll go with Quinn, obviously, because I'm a good boy.
I'm gonna follow about 20 to 30 feet behind those guys. I'm gonna lean back and say to Saberwolf, "Let's go. They might drop some loot when they die."
And then my eyes turn yellow and I revert back to wolf form real quick. Fine. But if you guys get torn apart, it's not my problem.
So we'll go carefully.
Okay. As you guys start getting closer, go ahead and everybody roll me a stealth check that is trying to stealth.
Before we do that, 1 second, I was gonna say too. Oh, there we go.
God.
Nice. Hey Snoopy, You want to go invisible before we go in here?
No,
Okay.
I am invisible.
Can I also? I want to use wild shape real quick.
Okay.
And can I wild shape into a spider and then jump on Snoopy's head?
Sure.
Hey,
With you
Victor,
being in spider form, you don't need to use a stealth check. You can use Snoopy's.
hey, Victor, you know, I mind casting your hippie skippy on me?
You want to go? You want to go no CE?
Yes, Steve. No CE. Want to make myself as less visible as possible.
Okay. Can I I can cast out myself too, right? To touch,
Correct.
and then in second, and
You
then a
got
second
two
also.
people.
Yeah. Okay. And
Okay, whatever.
what was that?
Nothing.
I
We're about to
actually-
fight a green dragon in your
yeah,
in a spell slot.
I'm thinking about it. Okay, I was gonna say maybe let's just see what we're up against first, Saber Wolf.
You know what? Yes. You know, I was
Jesus
thinking
Christ.
about turning myself tiny, but then again, eh, let's just go. Screw it. If worst comes to worst, all I'm gonna have to do is crack some heads, right?
True.
Let's also note that Tammy's first roll of this group is a natural one.
Yeah, shush
Oh,
it.
she's rolled some
Eh.
perceptions.
Oh, she did roll perceptions. You're right. My bad.
I rolled some perceptions, but yeah, that's real bad because I'm supposed to have proficiency in stealth. So.
Hopefully, you take over my rolls because Lord knows I need some help.
Lordy. Trying to find my. I had forest music, but I don't see my forest music anymore.
You should play the Scooby Doo soundtrack when they're sneaking around. Ding 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 ding
Okay.
ding ding.
So as you guys start to wander into the forest after that scream, get to this location. You see the cart tracks. Essentially, they hit this sort of tree right here, and then it falls over, and there's stuff scattered all about. As you get a little bit closer, probably Snoopy leading the way, because that's what he kind of does. He gets behind this rock and looks out, and sort of through the bushes, you can see 3 bodies, but you can't make out if they're alive or dead. Also, this is terrible music for this.
No, this is amazing. Here we go. Keep it.
What is that?
Is there something playing? Because I can't hear it.
Yeah, there's some. I think that's the gentleman's what's it called?
Insignia?
Symbol
Okay.
that made this. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, there's no tentacle monster.
That
You're good. There's no tentacle monster in this this location.
Can I
Man,
approach
something happened.
closer to take a better look?
Sure, go ahead and move.
I'm gonna try and like stick to the bushes.
Aim for the bushes.
You
Here,
guys
like,
watch
poke my
as
head.
Snoopy starts to very, very stealthily come up. And as you start to enter the bush, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
And as this is going on, you see me slowly backing up. Just hiding.
Cannot.
Wow, that's a double 2 right there, boys.
So as Snoopy climbs into the bush right there, as he's like looking around, he starts to sniff, and you get this weird scent. And as you start to follow your nose, you look to your left and you see a lizard folk sitting right there looking at you. And as
Also
it looks
note that
at you, it's kind of,
I still have that fish in my mouth.
yes. It kind of looks at you weird, and you see its tongue come out and like do that little like snake thing that they do. And it's not alarmed per se. It's more curious.
Um,
I go.
isn't
Sorry,
isn't
go
Quinn
ahead.
still on your back?
Correct.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Quinn is a spider on top of Snoopy, so Quinn, you also see this lizard folk.
I am going to like take like a lean forward, put the fish on the ground, and slowly back up.
Okay. And as you put it down, it kind of looks at you as you start to slowly back up, and it sniffs the fish. It puts its club down to its side and grabs it, sniffs it some more, then it puts it in its mouth and swallows it whole. And then it sort of whispers to you in a language that I do not believe that you can speak. Nope.
Is it lizard folk?
And
Because I don't speak lizard folk.
No. I will say, I'll just do this actually.
Can Quinn understand it?
I don't believe he can. If anyone can tell me what my whisper was, don't say it out loud like Dallas did that one time. Just tell me I see it, and then I'll ask you what it is. But I don't think anyone has this. Yeah,
Wait,
no one has this.
I saw something.
Yeah,
Brady.
you'll see it says extremely hard consonants and
Okay.
stuff, but you'll see me speaking to
Okay.
this language in this language, and it'll say a message. Otherwise, that's kind of like what you hear when it starts speaking to you very lowly. Let me see. I have a macro. Even with it speaking lowly, Tamsin, Saberwolf, and Vikavor, all of you are within range. You can hear, you see where Snoopy went into the bush, and all of a sudden you hear these sort of like these hissing noises, and you see Snoopy slowly backing out of the bush. Otherwise, the lizard doesn't seem to be threatened by a little dog.
So as he's backing up, I'm going to like jump off and kind of like be all natural like and try to get closer to him as a spider would, just crawling.
Okay. So Snoopy, you feel the spider crawling down your side, and you can see it visibly starting to get a little bit closer to the lizard folk. And the lizard folk doesn't seem to care about the spider. It's more fixated on Snoopy and what he's doing.
And I want to say, friend.
You say that out loud in common.
Yeah.
And then it starts to speak to you again in that same hissing sound. And now it seems it grabs its club at this point, and it kind of gets into a sort of defensive position, as if it's sort of confused as to how a dog is speaking to it.
God, why'd you have to get off of me? I mean, woof woof.
I guess
So you
while
watch
they're
as... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was
No,
gonna
you go
say
ahead.
while they're doing that, I'm gonna kind of crawl over to the caravan to see kind of like what's going on.
Okay. So as you crawl the caravan, you look over and you can see these three bodies. And from what you can tell, They're definitely fresh. You would have seen some sort of decay by now if these were, killed a couple days ago. And in this gentleman's sort of where his heart is, his heart area, somewhere in that left chest area, you see a bleeding wound with a dagger sticking in his heart.
Okay. Do we have like a clear view of this whole area from where we are back here? Can we see it or? Is it
So
like-
from what you can see, the big ass rock is in your way, and you can see from here over.
Okay.
So everything
gonna
to the
move-
north of this line you can see.
Okay. I'm gonna move kind of over here on the side over here.
So I'm gonna start walking away, and if I see him motion aggressively, I want to blink behind him and stab him with my rapier.
Okay. As you start moving away slowly, he starts to like sort of move a little bit closer to you. But he doesn't leave the bush. And then as you back out, he looks up and he can see through the trees. He can see Tamsin. And he kind of looks back behind him and he kind of think of a velociraptor call. Call, call, call. Snoopy, if you wish to do your blink, I'll give you a surprise round to attack him, and then everyone else will roll
absolutely.
initiative.
I will definitely do that. So, but I blink behind him and stab him. Give him the old stabberooski. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Advantage because it's a surprise round, right? Actually, I don't know. Hit him anyways.
Yeah, that does miss either way, unfortunately. So you blink and stab, and it misses, and he looks back, and he stands up, and I have to roll initiative for him.
Can I take an offhand attack with my kukuri?
Yeah.
I can't get a surprise round because I'm still hidden. Or can I?
So the way surprise round works, there's only one surprise round, and since you don't
Okay.
see what's going on with them, and battle is starting with Snoopy acting out,
Okay.
you guys aren't aware of what's going on with his predicament, so no.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Brady, did you ever figure out that situation with my whip dagger?
I'll be honest, I forgot about it. But essentially, it's just a stronger, it's the rope part, so I don't remember what exactly a rope dagger does, but I was going to give you like a +1 to, I think, the grappling part of it. So the entangle, I was going to give you a +1 on your entangle stuff, with it being made out of that, or not, yeah. So essentially the DC is an extra 1 for the entangle part.
Okay.
Otherwise it's not magical or anything like that.
Cool.
Okay, so let's see. Thing. Perfect. Change the music.
Well,
Start.
Tamsin, it's time to prove yourself.
Okay. So as this croaking noise comes out from this bush, you guys see Snoopy all of a sudden like blink out of existence onto the other side of the bush to where you can't see him. Quinn, for all intents and purposes, you are right here. Suddenly you can hear chanting coming from a tree towards your left. but you can't see in the tree. Let me get these guys. Oh, wow. There we go. And as the chanting stops, there is like a cloud that appears over where Vikavor and Tamsin are, and all of these giant snakes fall out of the sky. They will act on this creature's turn, and they will start to go in and start biting at the people that are closest to them. So starting from, we'll just start from the right of Saberwolf and work our way over. So Saberwolf, the one on your right misses as it lunges out to bite you. The one above you hits for 6 piercing damage. And I need a Constitution saving throw, please. And you take 4 poison damage. The one to your diagonal makes a bite, but misses. Tamsin, the one to your left, takes a bite at you and rolls a crit. I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
Can I use reaction?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna do panic
I don't
push.
remember what it does, but...
Do you want me to just share it?
Oh, wait, yeah, I remember what that does. Okay. So you want to use it on that guy?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's see, the damage is... melee spell attack, which... Go ahead and just roll the d20 and add 8. I'll make you a macro for it later.
Okay.
That does hit. And it takes damage equal to your sorcerer level.
Sorcerer.
And you are level 8.
Ooh.
Which actually, that's enough to kill that one. So, it does nullify the crit.
But we should also probably show them what happened. Because
Yes,
it
so-
momentarily manifests.
So what you guys see is as this snake pops out, Tamsin looks at it, and all of a sudden she transforms into this creature.
Cool.
And you watch as it does a backhand, sending the snake flying, and as it's mid-air, flying 10 feet back, before it hits the ground, it poofs into a cloud of smoke. And just disappears completely.
Cool.
And then the 2 next to Vikavor will attack. I need a Constitution saving throw, and then the other one did not hit. So you'll take 5 piercing damage from the bite, and an additional 7 poison damage as you can feel it starting to course through your veins. Other than that... Saberwolf, you are up. Actually,
Okay.
does Tamsin have higher dex? What's your dex modifier, Saberwolf?
13 plus 1.
Okay. Tamsin goes
So
first then.
This sorcerer has higher dex than the monk. That's hilarious.
I'm a strength type.
I rolled really well, so. Alright,
Your
so
go,
the first
Tamsin.
thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fly 30 feet into the air.
Okay.
And then
All 3 of those snakes that are near you will take a bite attack.
okay.
Luckily, only one of them hits you. Constitution save, please. That is a success, so you take 5 piercing and 3 poison.
Okay.
But you fly in the air. And your weight is definitely under 200 pounds, so you have 50 feet.
cool. And then I'm going to cast. Let's do. Lightning Lure. But I want to use sorcery points. To hit 2 of them.
Okay. Do you twine it?
Yeah.
Lightning lore. I wonder if your spells are messed up. Should be, yeah, it should be an attack, right? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a strength saving throw. The which 2?
Wait, what?
Which 2 creatures are you attacking it with?
Oh. I'm gonna attack the one next to Victor, so this one, and the one next to Saberwolf, this one.
Okay. So they do fail, so they'll take the 2 damage. They are still alive.
Instead of lightning, I want to use ice as the damage.
So you guys watch as this, as it starts to show this electricity coming from her fingers. The moment she casts the spell, this arc of lightning strikes out, and then from her fingertip to the end of the lightning, it all turns into this sort of icy whip, and it hits both of these little snakes. I believe it moves them too.
Can be pulled up to 10 feet in a straight line towards you. So yeah.
Do you want to do that? Okay. You watch them get pulled into the air.
Them at the end of it.
I don't think it's a lasting effect, so they end up dropping 10 feet, which makes them take fall damage.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow. And the fall damage is enough to kill them.
That's amazing.
Woo!
So you watch as the lightning lure spell, it branches out midway, grabs both of these snakes, pulls them up in the air, and the moment they hit the ground, you watch as they go lifeless and then poof into a cloud of smoke. If that's all Tamsin has.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Saberwolf.
Okay. I'm going to use my baton to one to the right.
Okay, go for it. That does hit, and the one to your right, that one rolled higher HP. It's still alive,
Alright,
but you have more attacks. Ooh, that is enough to kill it.
And then I'm going to use Flurry and start attacking the one in front of me.
Alright. Ooh. The 8 damage does come through, but your last one unfortunately misses.
Other than that, I'm gonna chill.
Are you dual wielding side batons, or do you just have the one? I think you just have the one, right?
Yeah, one in one hand and a whip dagger in the
Okay. So you guys watch Saberwolf takes his side baton, and he keeps swinging it around, and he's like beating the shit out of the snake until it poofs out of existence. And then he goes in for 2 more attacks, but he tries to get a little flashy to sort of match Tamsin's pace, and ends up getting a little carried away and swings way too high, missing the snake completely. If you wish to move, you may.
chill here.
Okay. The lizard folk that is in front of Snoopy ends up standing up, and you guys can see him. He's like 6 foot something tall, so he stands right out of the bush from his crouched position, and he goes in.
Did he take damage from my Kirkery?
Didn't even see the roll. Let me go back up.
24 to hit.
Yes, he did. There. My bad.
Glad I asked.
Yeah. He goes in and attacks you with his heavy club and his spiked shield, missing with both of them. So he goes in for the heavy club, and he actually trips over a rock and swings wide. After regaining his balance, he takes the 2 spikes at the end of his shield and tries to jab it into you, but you're able to parry it with your rapier. And he starts to call out again. Kung, kung, kung. Snoopy, you can hear rustling coming from the trees behind you.
This one here, or further?
This way.
Oh, okay. Because would it count as flanking if I flank with Quinn, the spider?
I'll give it to you, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll take it then. So I will just...
Oh, it's not your turn, by the way.
Oh, it's not over yet.
It might look like it on the turn order, but I have hidden tokens. So the tree rustling that you hear from behind you, as you turn around, you see a lizard folk come out and throw a javelin at you.
Oh, I see.
But he misses. And then there's a tree up here that you hear rustling. You see another one drop down. He runs up and makes the shield attack and the spiked club attack as well against you. Missing with the club, but he hits you with the shield for 6 piercing.
For 6 whole damage?
Yep, 6 whole damages.
Can I use... I'm trying to read through my new abilities.
The dueling master?
I think
or the deflect?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll roll your weapon damage plus your modifier and subtract that from... That uses your reaction. So your rapier, just roll the attack for the rapier. So you'll subtract 11, so you deflect the whole attack.
Cool, I'm glad I used that crit there.
We can make you a deflect thing that just rolls the damage die, so you don't, accidentally use your luck.
I know, that's not how it works.
But it is your turn now, Snoopy.
Well, that'll be moving out of his range, so instead, I will move over to this guy and attack him from Quinn.
Okay.
Guy,
yep.
with my rapier.
18 does hit. Nice.
And then...
He is still alive.
Are we supposed to see his HP or not?
And then
yes. Do you not see it?
How does he look?
I don't see
No,
it.
we don't see it.
Hold on.
Yeah, I don't see it, and
that.
also
there we go.
also I rolled a 16 on my initiative, and it's not showing.
Really? Let me... Weird. Did you use your token, or did you use a different way?
No, I used the sheet, the character sheet.
Oh, you gotta click on your token.
That's why. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
doing it from the
didn't know.
character sheet, it doesn't pop up onto the turn tracker by itself. So after Snoopy's done, it'll be your turn. If you want to make your Let's see.
So,
Oh wait, yeah. There we go.
I would like to do an offhand attack. Like for 3 offhand damage.
Go ahead and fire it up. That does hit and kill.
Alright.
Nice.
So what you guys watch as Snoopy deflects a blow from this new foe, and then he gets in position with Quinn in spider form, and he's able to throw off the lizard folk, stabbing him like right in the middle of the belly. And as the lizard folk kind of like lurches forward, he takes his kukuri in his mouth and just slits its throat, and you can hear the sort of hissing and gurgling of blood as it falls over dead. With that, it is Quinn's turn.
And of course, afterwards, I play bow for the other lizard folk.
Okay.
So while in this form, I can still cast spells, right?
Nope. Not until you're
Not
level
yet.
18.
You got a ways to go there.
10 levels, which equates to 3 years, I believe, at my rates. I'm also kidding.
Way longer.
I'm not planning on a 3-year. Yeah, way longer. But I'm pretty sure dropping your form is a free thing, right? Or is it a bonus?
It's a bonus action.
What can a spider do?
Bite.
I will show you.
You can bite
Thank
for
you.
1 damage. I know that.
I can't like.
Yeah, so you have the bite, which is it's a 1d1 piercing damage plus 1d4 poison damage if it hits, and it has a +4 to hit. You will have advantage because you're flanking, and that's if you want to bite as a tiny spider.
But that's all I can do.
Yep. Attack-wise, anyway.
So
Yeah.
I can't shoot a web out or nothing like that.
Not with this guy. Yeah, the spider that the tiny version of the spider is not very combat intrusive.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try to bite him.
Okay.
What the hell? Ah. What the hell was
He's gonna
Crits
smoke you.
kills him. That'd be so fucking awesome.
It would.
So what do I roll?
Roll the d20 and add 4 to it. And if you move, I'll give you this last opportunity. If you move 10 feet over, you can get advantage on it by flanking with Snoopy. One more. There you go. And with that 19, you do hit. So now roll a d4 for the poison damage. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to click it. So it does 1d1, which is 1 damage of piercing, and then roll a d4 for the poison damage. Nice. So you bite this lizard folk, and he kind of like, you're at his ankle, and you bite him right in the Achilles, and he's like, ah!
that? I can just imagine how sharp that pain is.
Also, with the rest of my movement, can I like land on him and just be like, just on him?
Yeah, I'll allow you to climb him.
All right, I'm gonna climb him.
Okay. I'm gonna move your token to where it's like right on top of the dude, so that I know.
Does he have
I take
armor
it
on?
that he's wearing a sort of like natural scales, or he's got like this natural scales about him that are pretty tough. And from what you've seen with like Snoopy's attacks and your own attack, that's what his armor essentially is. But he does have like tribal, I guess, wear on. So like a bone necklace, like some sort of like loincloth or something.
He naked.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what I want to do, if I can, like, crawl into like his loincloth area.
Okay.
Okay.
No,
So
like
you crawl up
I
his
thought-
leg,
I
and
thought
you
it was
Like-
like a PG session, not like this is not going
Snoopy
down
throws
well, is
his
it?
bait
no,
down,
like you know how like
"Alright,
in
I'm out."
cartoons, no, like in cartoons when like a
man.
rat goes up somebody's leg or something like that and they're distracted. That's essentially what I'm trying to do.
okay, noted.
Not trying to sneak a peek to that
So
lizard.
like PG-13 level, or
Alright, we're trying
there's,
to do 90s level of PG-13. Where, like, they're showing
There's
fat
more
and shit.
rustling. This guy starts to run up. And he'll toss a javelin at Snoopy. But he misses. Surprise, surprise. Vikavor, your turn.
Unhittable. Okay, refresh our memory because we haven't had a battle in like I feel like a month. So he's right up on me. Okay.
Correct.
Obviously, disadvantage for any like spell casting, right? Obviously.
Correct. Any ranged attack within 5 feet of an enemy is a disadvantage.
Okay, and then.
And what you
when I
do
move-
know is that you do know that if you move, it can attack you as you exit its threat range.
Yeah, but if I move, I can still attack after I move, right? Even though he takes his opportunity to attack.
Correct.
Okay, he's just a snake. I don't really care that much, but
He's a
I don't wanna
slippery
waste my
snake.
like I care that much about what he does. I want to move like kind of right here. So from right here, would I have like a clear view of like what's happening over here?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna move there and take his stupid opportunity attack, whatever he wants to do.
He lunges. Oh, there was one underneath you! That changes the game!
No, there was.
I'm just
Wait.
joking. It was literally under you, but we'll just get rid of it because...
Okay, 'cause I probably wouldn't have moved if I didn't.
Surprise,
know it was
motherfucker!
Vikavor accidentally sat on it and killed it.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead and retcon all that. He was standing on top of its head the whole time, so it's dead.
Yup.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm a slippery snake. It does miss you with its opportunity attack.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot. You guys already know. You already know what's about to happen here. You know, that little
one-liner.
blasty. Yeah, this
Kill
blasty.
the Eldritch Blast.
I'm gonna do my first one over there though. I want to do just one first.
Alright. That does hit, but it does not kill.
Okay, we're gonna do the second one at him too.
That misses.
Okay. Cool. And I don't have. Well, what was my distance when I just moved? It was 25.
25, yep.
Um,
So you got 5 more, if you want.
I'll stay where I am.
Okay. The Vikavor in front of you, you hear the rumblings of bushes as a lizard
dang it.
folk drops out of the tree, and he
Gotta be
comes
kidding
over and starts. He swings at you with his heavy club and his spiked shield. He hits you with both, so you take 6 bludgeoning damage and 4 piercing damage.
Oh.
Jeez. I can't get a break.
The next hidden lizard folk pops out of a tree that's right next to Snoopy. And we'll make his 2 attacks. Miss and a crit for 9 piercing damage.
I am going to try and deflect that one as well.
You've used your reaction, I think, this turn still.
Oh, does
this
it
is
start
still
at
the same
top of
round.
the round, not my turn.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
Well, then I guess that doesn't matter. 9, you say?
Correct. Another lizard folk jumps out of this tree and is going to take the dash action to move past Snoopy a little bit, going towards the others. Then one final lizard folk. I promise. This one dashes to get right in front of Snoopy. The snakes, they all being close to Saberwolf, all go towards him and all take a bite attack. Wow. Rolled a 17, an 18, and a crit. I need
I'm so glad
3
I'm in
Constitution saves, please. Now, here's the thing. If they had advantage, they all crit. Save. I need 2 more.
Ooh.
Save. And save. So you'll take a total of... Let's
use my
see.
reaction to deflect at all.
Okay. You can deflect 1 attack.
Deflect the crit.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the baton damage. And that nullifies the damage. That is enough to nullify it, so that's good. So from the 2 normal attacks, you take 11 piercing and 10 poison. And then it becomes your turn. Oops. Uh-oh.
So
I
what I'm
refreshed my
going to do
page.
is I'm gonna yell out to Tamsin, "Hey, think you can handle this? See if I can help the others."
Yeah, I've got it.
Alright. And I cast jump.
Okay.
And I will jump over to, let's see. I'm gonna jump over to the one near Victor on the other side of it.
Alrighty. They'll all go ahead and use their reaction as you start to leave to bite. And they actually, only one of them hits, so I need a con save, please. That is a fail. You'll take 6 piercing damage and 11 poison. Otherwise, go ahead and jump. And your jump distance is technically 60 now, but you can still only move up to your normal 30 feet unless you take the dash action.
Yeah, I'm gonna just stick behind this fella right here.
Okay.
Do I have
All right,
damage?
Tamsin. It was 6 piercing, 11 poison for a total of 15. Your boils, I believe, give you acid resistance, not poison, unfortunately. You're up, Tamsin.
Cool. Do or do the lightning damage.
All right, the
change
lightning
the
lord.
ice. Yeah. And then I'm gonna. So I'm gonna 2 of them. Probably the one that already has, and I don't care whichever one.
We'll do these two
Okay.
in the diagonal.
And then draw.
They do fail. So this the snake to the top instantly just dies outright from the damage. And the other one drops after 10 feet, but is still alive. Or apparated, I guess you could say.
Cool. And then I'll stay 30 feet in the air.
Okay.
So, and my
Alright, Quinn, it is your turn. You are in spider form.
He's next to the groin too, right?
I believe so.
Do they have? Never mind.
Yeah, so Brady,
They
what
have
do I
large
see
talons.
here? Like,
Describe it. Describe it in detail.
like, what am I looking at?
So as you crawl into the loincloth, it just so happens to be well made to where it's too dark to tell.
It's like.
But
this.
it doesn't smell very good.
Okay, so what I want to do now, I'm gonna
Is that
like, crawl.
Is that a hooked
It's
penis?
It's a barb.
Is that like the goose with their barbed penises?
Yes, that is what it is.
I'm gonna.
Because that's how the cuttlefish do.
All right, so
Back to our game.
I'm gonna crawl
Yeah.
like on top of him, and
Okay.
I'm gonna break form. And, yeah. So I'm
Okay.
gonna crawl on top of
So
him.
bonus
and break
action
form.
on top of his head. Quinn pops out of nowhere, and the lizard folk. I'll say I'll give him a strength save. If he fails it, which he rolled a 6, he's knocked prone underneath you.
You said a shrink save?
Yeah, not for you, for the lizard folk. You're fine. The lizard folk
Okay.
made a strength save and he rolled a 6, so he is now knocked prone from that.
So I come in there like, hey, and then now that he's on the ground, so we have advantage on attacks, right?
Melee attacks, yes.
All right, so while he's on the ground, I'm going to stab.
Unfortunately, even with advantage, that does not hit. We'll say now that you pop out over here. If you wish to move, I believe
am
that's
upset.
all you can do.
Yeah, I'm gonna move.
He misses you with his attack of opportunity. And while you're figuring out where to move, he'll... Let's see. So it is a small little cliff right there. It's only like a 5-foot jump.
Okay.
Is that where you end your turn?
Mm-hmm.
He will use half his movement to stand up, and he is going to chase you down. Snoopy, you do have your reaction back if you want to use it for an opportunity attack.
I'm gonna pass on that one.
Okay. So he comes at you with his club and his shield. And he hits with a 22 for the club for 4 bludgeoning damage, but he misses with the shield, but barely. This lizard folk's going to get right here and toss a javelin at Snoopy, but ultimately he misses. That brings us to Snoopy's turn.
Man, I don't know what I want to do. There's 2 cool moves. I will blink to flank with Quinn
All right.
and do a rapier attack.
That does hit. And oh wow, that's perfect damage to kill.
As that happens, can I cut his stomach open and pull the fish out of his stomach?
Oh,
Like, can that be
Yeah,
my
I'm
attack?
down. Yeah. So you
'Cause
blink,
you said he
and
swallowed
as
that
you
whole-
apparate, yeah, as you apparate, you bark, and he looks at you, and you cut his stomach open, and after a couple seconds, it like opens up, and you see his guts start to spill out, and he's trying to like carry them and put them back in. You make another precise cut where you think the stomach is, and the fish pops out. It's covered in acid, like stomach acid, but it plops right there in front of you.
All right, and then I will, assuming it's just an object interaction, to pick it up with my mouth.
Correct.
Right.
Snoopy has his fish back.
At this point, is it even like a solid anymore? Like,
No, it's like a
Yeah, I thought it
squishy
wasn't a
thing,
solid.
So I
earlier.
have a bonus action left. And since I moved with my blink, am I able to complete my movement with... I think I moved 15 feet. Do I have another 15? Or is that all of my
Believe so.
movement? Okay. But I don't think there's anywhere for me to hide successfully.
Oh, no, you can't. Because instead of movement, you teleport. So
Okay,
whenever you
it does say
blink,
instead.
you're, yeah.
Bonus action. I can dash though, but I don't. Can I hide in his stomach? I'm just kidding. I will. Oh, can I throw my Kurkuri as a bonus action? Since I use an attack action.
Yeah. Yep.
I will.
I
throw
believe
it
it is have the throw opportunity. Yeah, go ahead and
wing
make
it
the...
with my mouth. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do instead? I'm gonna summon Goopy. That's what I want to do.
Okay. Where do you...
Just
You
next to me.
put them where?
I have control.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Goopy gets to move and do his stuff.
Goopy will take a crossbow attack at how far is the crossbow?
Should be, I think,
30,
60
isn't it?
feet.
Oh, 60.
Maybe 30.
He'll take a crossbow shot at this guy here.
Okay.
And I can control.
Go ahead and fire at will. 22 does hit.
3 poison.
Yummy. So you guys watch as Goopy takes a shot, and it's like a little spitball. Flies across, hits the lizard folk, and he's like, ah! And he kind of wipes it off of his face. If Goopy wishes to move, he may. Otherwise, it is Vikvor's turn.
I'll have Goopy kind of like slime over like the cliff.
Okay.
It's kind of out of sight, out of mind.
So, I guess there's nowhere. Even if I dash, there's nowhere out of range that they couldn't just get to me in the next turn. Okay.
If they were to take the dash action as well, yes, they can catch up to you.
Oh, true.
Because they have the same movement speed as you do.
You know, that saber will fit with me. I think I'm just gonna go for my blast at close range. Well, actually, hang on.
You don't get
Okay.
flank bonuses with spell attacks or ranged attacks.
Oh no, I know. I'm just saying like maybe you say we'll be able to kill him when he gets to his turn finally. Okay. This is one problem I always run into is like when I get close range, I need to like figure out what to do next.
I know, right? I do this to you every time.
I know. Even when
Maybe.
I get up, every time I even try to get out of the range, like, oh, but there's one exactly where you are also.
You need to buy a dagger to keep on you at all times.
You know what?
He does.
You know,
He had a quarterstaff.
Yeah. Sure. I do have my staff, but I don't.
Oh,
Think
I'd
it's gonna
pay
do that
500
damage.
No,
gold
you-
for a quarter staff in this situation.
I don't think your
I-
Rod of the Pact Keeper has an attack to it, because it's not
It
a
doesn't?
quarterstaff.
Okay.
It's like a wand. Yeah.
I do have a dagger, but my question with that is it wouldn't do very much damage, would it? Like what is?
No, but
How do I
at
look
least
at-
it's something. And granted,
Yeah.
you can still use your Eldritch Blast and have a chance to hit. You're just at disadvantage at all.
Okay. You know what? I'm
And
gonna
you
do
get to
something a
shoot
little
twice.
Oh really? Okay.
Go for it.
I'm actually gonna do something a little bit different. I am going to use this, and I'm going over here.
Okay.
Oh damn, pulling out
God
the
damn.
level 4.
There you go.
This is hang on, I wanna go even. Wait, what's the Eldritch Blast? What's my range on Eldritch Blast?
It's like 120, isn't
Pretty
it?
sure it's
huge.
120.
Okay, I wanna go. I swear, Brady, I swear, if out of your like you bring up some more lizard folk out of you over here, it's just like- I swear. Okay, hang on a second. We're gonna
Say
go.
you swear.
It's
Now,
like-
granted, Dimension Door is an action, so you can't cast Eldritch Blast because it's an action
Oh, I
as
know.
well.
I know. I'm just.
But
throwing
yeah,
that away.
you are. Yeah, you are in range of all of the lizard folks that you currently see, except for these. Oh no, you can hit the snakes too, except for there's a big ass wagon in the way. But the ones
Yep.
that are within vision range, so this one, and that one, you
Okay.
can hit.
I wanna make sure. I'm actually gonna go a little bit further. I won't be on the. I want to be like off the map more than
Okay.
60 feet of this guy. Okay.
Now you put yourself
be
to
like-
where I can't click you. Can you bring
crap.
yourself back?
Oh
Nope. I'll have to.
wait. There we go. Oh, there we go.
I just brought in a new one.
Sorry, it's
Okay.
taking so long.
Yeah, so you're you're
wanna
off
be out of-
a little bit.
I want to be out of his dash range. Okay.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You are out of his dash range.
And there's nothing else I can do.
But this
right?
guy, I'm just joking. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else you could do.
Okay.
This guy's gonna run
There
up
we go.
behind Saberwolf
Oh,
and make
Saberwolf.
2 attacks at advantage. A 22 and a crit. So 7 piercing damage, as well as an additional 10 bludgeoning damage.
I'm use my reaction on the crit.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your baton. So you take a total of 8 damage from that. That one is done. The one in front of you will also do the same thing. Miraculously, he misses on the first strike, but he does hit you with the 4 piercing damage from the shield. That is his turn. This guy's going to come up and 2 attacks on Snoopy. Both which miss.
Too sneaky.
This guy's going to roll up onto Snoopy and make 2 attacks at advantage. Both of them hit. 8 bludgeoning damage for the first one. Do you want to deflect?
I will. Yeah, I'll deflect that one. So one.
You'll take 1 piercing or 1 bludgeoning, and then you'll take an additional 6 piercing from the shield. This guy, he'll run past you, seeing that you're taken care of, and he'll attack Quinn twice. A 22 to hit for 8 bludgeoning damage, and then his second attack misses. At the top of the round, you guys hear shaking in the bushes.
Next Civic of War.
But they're the bushes where you heard the chanting coming from, up here in the north.
Oh,
And a lizard folk that's dressed in sort of shaman style gear pops out and holds his hands up and goes, "Please stop! Stop the fighting! Everyone stop!" All his lizard folk look over towards him, and they all like stare at whoever they're next to, like deep in their eye. And you can see that they're in more of a defensive stance, and they don't look like they're going to attack anymore. Tamsin.
Oh,
Oh Lord. Welcome to the group. Here's your decision.
I'll ask it. Why did you guys start?
You invading territory! We'd merely defend!
You hear Snoopy off on the side. And then I spit the fish out and say,
Snoopy, drop the fish.
I fed him this fish and he attacked me.
Yeah, why'd you?
Don't know! You killed him!
Yeah.
And
He felt
raise
threatened.
my voice. I yell out to him. We were merely here to check on some missing folks. You
Yeah, and it looks like you guys killed them too.
Again, you invading land. We merely defend. Perhaps we can talk. Agree?
We might be past talking.
Tamsin.
Aye,
Okay.
Vikarvor. I'm not looking too good right now.
I'm more than far enough away to deal with this.
Are we still in initiative turn?
Correct. It is Tamsin's call.
Like I
On
said,
what
I'll
she wants
hold
to
my
do anyway.
reaction.
Okay.
My act.
Saber Wolf.
If you intend to stop this fighting, I will stand down. Do I have your word?
Yes. Yes. No more killing on either side.
Then I stand down.
Quinn.
So he's standing down.
That's what Saber Wolf said. Yes. Tamsin didn't take any offensive action either. Also, for your held action, Tamsin, are you casting a spell? Because if you are, then you're concentrating on it right now.
Well, if they're not doing anything, I'm going to move out of the way and take my 30 feet. And then... Hold on for a second.
Okay. Okay. And as you move, they kind of get out of your way, but they eye you wearily.
All right, I'm gonna take a turn though.
Okay. All right. So you pop out your unicorn spirit. Let's see. Where do you want to put it? You should be able to move it. And you can have a range of 60 feet with it.
Yep, this right here is fine.
Okay. And then you still have your action, because that's a bonus.
Yeah, that's a bonus, so I'm gonna go ahead and heal Snoopy, or not Snoopy, but Saber.
Okay. Since Tamsin is 30 feet in the air, you are in the aura. So you and Snoopy, as well as Quinn, will regain 8 HP.
Sweet.
And if you want, Quinn, you can heal the lizard folk for 8 HP if you want.
So I'm going to ask the shaman. So we're done here, right?
Yes, as long as you are.
I'll heal him.
Okay. So go ahead and cast whatever you wanted to onto Saberwolf. And then, okay. We'll go through the rolls of Healing Spirit afterwards. All the lizard folk sort of keep a defensive stance. Snoopy?
I'm going to blink up on top of the outcropping, like these rocks here, and I'll say, "Come, Goopy," and Goopy slithers up here, and I'm going to slowly put down my weapon as I set vigilance up here.
Okay.
Like I put my hands up, like I'm putting down my weapon.
Alrighty. The other lizard folk all sort of put their arms down. Comes down to Vikavor. What's your decision?
Oh, Jesus
Hypothetically, what would happen to
Ichabod.
Saberwolf?
Ichabod.
I don't know. You have to make your decision.
Make
And
that
everybody's
decision.
used their talking.
AoE.
Everyone's used their
AoE.
talking for this.
AoE.
You're
I
not
mean, what
within
would your
range of a
character do?
fireball.
I can move.
Don't.
I could
Don't.
I could get within range. Whatever. Hang on.
That's what my
I don't think you
character
can.
did.
I can't. What's the range on fireball?
No, because you're off screen to where he can't dash to you.
Okay, that's fine.
So it's at least you'd be able to probably get right here, and that's. I guess you could put
Wait.
it right there, and it would still. Yeah, it would hit.
But
if
range
you
is
did that.
150. Range is 150 feet though. Like,
Oh, is it?
100. Yeah.
Why did I think it was 60?
Oh, I could hit.
Never mind. Yeah.
I mean, there's no way this is not happening, right?
Okay, you know what, guys? I'm sick and tired of this. I'm getting sick and tired of this here, and
Enough
I can
is
cast it
enough.
at level 4, right?
You have to.
Yep.
And I'm doing it right.
Alrighty.
I'll get there. Getting there just out of range of Quinn. It's happening.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, before right as I'm doing it, I'm just gonna go ahead and hold up a middle finger over to the shaman. Right as I do it.
Okay. All right. So fireball goes out. These guys will all make dexterity save. Let's see. Fail, and a fail. They all incinerate.
God damn it, man.
And all the lizard folk will take will use their held action to attack Saberwolf.
Every one of them.
So
Yep.
like, does this healing spirit does nothing?
Well, go ahead and roll
heal-
the first d6, but it only heals once per turn. And since we're still in combat, it will be every round. Saberwolf will be able to get a d6 of health. Go ahead and roll a d6 for that first round, please. And Saberwolf, the lizard folk, as it watches this flash of fire, it looks back and it gets angry, turns around and smacks you upside the head for... we'll just deduct 3 from the damage, and you'll take 6 bludgeoning damage. The other did a crit.
Use my reaction on that crit.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your baton damage. So -7, you take 8 bludgeoning damage. This lizard folk uses his reaction to dash towards Quinn. Fine, if there cannot be peace. This lizard folk takes his dash action to, reaction to dash towards Saberwolf. Vikabor, if you wish to move, you may.
I just want to I want to yell out before, as the shaman's leaving, I want to yell out, wait, let's have peace.
No, time for peace is done. You killed Dragonkin.
The only good
That brings us
Good
to the lizard folk.
good dragonkin's a dead dragonkin. Well, yeah, we might get a dragon.
So he wouldn't have, this one wouldn't have actually used its reaction. It would have used its multi-attack. So I'll just have it attack one more time on you, Saberwolf. Which this one crits as well. For 12 bludgeoning damage, which knocks you out.
Relentless.
That guy's dead.
Relentless.
That guy's
whatever.
dead.
2 health left.
Okay. Top of the round is our good shaman friend. Let's see. He's going to use his multi-attack, and he's going to claw and bite you. So his claw hits for 5 damage.
Yeah, no.
That's okay.
And then his bite will give you 2 death saves. Failures, my bad. 2 death failures. He will end his turn, bringing us to Tamsin. Oh, wait. His snakes still move on his turn. And they will both bite you. Saberwolf, in your last moments, what do you do?
I pull off my mask. Pull off my mask and I howl.
Okay. So you guys watch as Saberwolf starts to get clawed and beat down to where he gets on his knees, but he's able to sort of withstand it. The lizard folk shaman goes in relentlessly with its claws and then bites him. And you see the whites of Saberwolf's eyes as he kind of rolls back. In his last moments, he starts to pull off his mask when a snake starts to slither, jump up, and bite him right on the back of the neck as he lets out a final howl before his last breath is gone.
Oh, jeez.
I join him in his final howl.
Hold on. I got a question about this.
What's up?
How does lending inspiration work again?
Whenever they have to make a roll, so like if they're making attack roll or if they're making a saving throw, you can use your inspiration for that person.
Oh, did he do any of
But
that?
since these, no,
Okay,
he was
never
being
mind.
attacked, so yeah. So this one doesn't need to go over there, so it will crawl up here and attack Snoopy. It crit. I need a Constitution save, please.
Start of the round doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can have your reaction.
That's okay.
So you'll take 8 piercing damage and 13 poison damage.
Can I use uncanny dodge?
I don't... Isn't uncanny dodge if you're doing a dexterity saving throw?
No, that's evasion. Uncanny dodge is
Oh,
I can
okay.
use a reaction to have the damage taken. If I can see.
Okay. Yes, so you can have the
So-
damage. You'll take 4 piercing and you'll take 6 poison. Tamsin, your turn.
Cool. I and cast.
You're breaking
you
up.
catch that?
Yeah, I did not. Oh dear. I'll come to you. I'll be right there.
Type it out.
Yeah, you can type it.
Yo, shout out to
Oh.
Vigavore.
I just did it. Fire. Well, I'm gonna.
So,
God
Sh-
damn it, Saberwolf. I had such a good rapport.
Another
Bruh.
fireball coming out.
Where's that one going?
So it's going
Guess we don't have
towards
to
all
worry
those
about
guys.
cremation for him.
Are we gonna cremate Saberwolf right now?
Yep.
Looks like it.
y'all are.
This
I call this
guy,
shit.
that one's dead. That one makes his save, but it's actually just the right amount of damage to kill him. Shaman fails his save. And as he burns up, curses
died?
on all you!
And I'm just out of range of that curse, right?
Probably not. Tamsin, if you wish to move, you may.
Good. Actually, I'll lower myself to 20.
Alright. Quinn, it's your go.
You got this, Quinn.
Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna move my little healing spirit.
I don't think you can move Healing Spirit, can you? Or yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Thought it was a bonus. I thought you could.
Yeah. 30 feet.
Okay, so give me a second. I can't find my character.
We'll say the Healing Spirit is the second conjure animals, but it doesn't have an aura. So it's right here. Where do you move it to?
I'm gonna move it like next to me.
Okay.
It's only one left. Is that what I see?
That is correct.
So I'm going to like I'm gonna like stab this thing. The
Go
spear
for
is
it.
10 feet, right?
I think if you're a master, I
That's
don't
what
think
it
you're a
is.
master. Let me go look at it.
Okay.
You have the war spear, right?
How come you don't use your staff? Doesn't it like do different things?
I was actually getting ready to use it, but I couldn't find it, so I just said F.
Oh.
Yeah, war spear does not have reach at all. So you have to be within 5 feet.
What? Yeah, because all this stuff I can do. What season is it? It's spring, right?
It is. That hits. For 11. I believe that's all you got, right? Unless you want to move anymore.
No, that's fine.
In a final act of desperation, he swings at you with his club and his shield, but he misses both. And then he kind of like growls at you and speaks in a language that you don't understand. Snoopy,
Oh.
your go.
Also, I
I
meant to specify that I wanted to do that non-lethally.
Okay.
I blink here. I just did the thing. It's 40 feet,
Mm-hmm.
and I say, "This is for Saberwolf," and I stab him with my rapier with malice
Alright.
intent. Oh, you know what? I need to fix the macro, but that's okay. I'll do it later.
That is
He's
enough
like-
to kill it.
But what you guys really hear is.
As the battle comes to an end, we'll give everybody a moment to pay respects to Saberwolf real quick, and then we'll end the session.
Okay, I can move over to him now, where he is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, I mean, it's what Saberwolf would have wanted.
I go up and smack Vikavor on the back of the head.
Okay. The Vic of War
Yeah.
doesn't
But
hurt
what he
enough to
actually-
do damage, but, you know, it is a sting.
Yeah, but what he actually did was slap Vic in the face.
Which slaps you.
But no reply out of Vic? Jeez. He gets slapped.
No.
I do the like
He
Simba
curses
thing,
or something.
Simba Fossa, and kind of curl up, and like poke at his head, like "Wake up!"
But instead, you're just like kind of like poking at a bunch of ash on the ground because that fireball.
Yeah, is he like dead? Like he's.
Yeah, especially with that fireball, he's beyond repair.
Oh.
That fireball did 34 fire damage to a corpse. You'll need
Jeez.
a high level resurrection spell to bring him back.
Okay, so this is my first time anybody's ever died. So
Mm-hmm.
what exactly happened?
So what happens at this point is Kevin will work on a new character sheet for next session. Saberwolf will, unless you guys get to the point where you get like a wish spell to bring him back to life, more than likely Saberwolf will never be seen in this world again. So that's why we're going through. Everybody can like say some last words to send Saberwolf off, and then we'll end the session.
No way. That's crazy.
That's what happens when your friend's being flanked by 3 different lizard folk and you.
Yeah. So, so I just go up to, I guess, his ashes and say, man, I wanted you to be there when I finally got to see my brother again, but I guess all good things must come to an end, man. And then I guess I just sit down and I guess like start to pray.
All right.
Um,
Snoopy's doing the Mufasa thing, right?
and can I like look and see, is his mask somehow, at least a piece of it, like in his hand, saved?
Yeah, I'll say it was essentially like shielded from the blast from his as he fell on top of it. So it's actually it's a little charred, but it's still wearable and essentially in perfect condition.
Also,
I'm gonna
like,
take. Oh,
no, go ahead. I was just gonna ask about his items.
I'm gonna take my eye patch off and place it on him, and I'm gonna don his luchador mask.
Okay. Yeah, now Snoopy is wearing the luchador mask that Saberwolf used as his persona, his performance.
I will wield this with
This was-
honor, my friend. As a puppy tear rolls down his big ass nose.
Anything from Vikavor?
I just kind of like in shock a little bit and don't know what to say at all. Just kind of looking at the ground. Like I'm in,
You
like,
caused this, you know.
Uh-oh.
But that's all I'll say. I'm sure your friends
from-
will come to resent you for it later. Yeah, that's from Vic.
That's from. Oh, now he wants to talk. Okay.
Yeah.
I go over and I place my that like thorny crown thing I have, that tiara that he's been trying to sell. I just place it on the ground where his ashes are, and leave it there.
Okay. And Tamsin, even though you just met Saberwolf a couple days ago, is there anything that she would say?
Sorry I incinerated your body. You seem. I wish I would have gotten to know. And I'm done.
I didn't think he would really die. I thought he was like the normal thing of you get knocked down after your death saves. I didn't know you could actually die.
No, yeah. So if the way it worked is
Yo,
because
he's-
he. Oh wait, are you being? You're okay. Never mind.
No,
You're
I'm
not
not
being
being
serious.
serious.
I thought you were
No,
being
I'm just
serious
being
because it's your
serious.
first time.
I'm being serious.
Oh, you
I was
are?
like, it is
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, oh, he'll
Okay.
be fine. He
Yeah.
just does a couple of
Nah.
those rolls and he's fine.
No.
And then
So
I-
the
the
way it
rolls are
works. Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel bad
So the
for
way it
Kevin now.
works
I'm like,
is.
geez, I didn't mean to kill
yeah.
him.
So the way it works is if you get knocked unconscious, any damage you take, it doesn't deal the damage to you because you're at 0 hit points. You can't go into the negative. So instead, it gives you a death saving throw fail. Now, if it's a melee, that counts as a critical attack, or a critical hit rather, which gives you 2 of them. So when he went down, the shaman was able to do one more attack on him, which counted as 2 of the death saves failures,
Crazy.
and then his snakes came over, bit him, which counted as another 2, which ultimately killed him.
Crazy.
And then the fireball, blew his body up,
Yeah,
essentially.
And
that
lizard
fireball
folk are
doubled
not
down.
known for being mercy type people. We're lucky they
Well-
didn't eat
Was there
them.
any? Yeah. So real quick, because I gotta give my supervisor a call for some reason. But does anyone else want to say anything before I end the session?
I'll go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like I'm gonna do like a druid craft, and you'll hear like wolves starting to howl, and then his ashes just like float up in the air,
Okay.
and he's one with the earth now, y'all.
Yep. I'm gonna do what I wanted this to do, and I want to check what this gold pile over here is.
Okay. We'll get to that stuff next session. Kevin, any parting words for Saberwolf beside like not actually talking to the characters, but anything that you wish to say as a player, I guess,
Stay
for the
tuned.
stream.
Stay tuned for Kevin's next adventure.
Kevin dies a lot in this game.
Yeah,
Does he?
dang, yeah, you have 2 characters that have been bodied.
God,
He's
died
already
3
had 2
times.
characters?
Well, one of his characters died twice.
Wow.
Is it like?
Oh,
Is it like?
dear.
To me, it seems like it'd be semi-exciting. Like if you die,
Sure.
like, oh, cool, I get to make a new character. You know, unless you really liked them, I guess.
That's how I am.
Yeah.
All my characters are expendable.
Man, I had plans for this character, but I mean, it is what it is.
Thanks for the follow, Bolda Dash.
I got other
Really
sheets
appreciate it.
made, so just gotta pick which one I want to use.
Tight.
I was
You know-
sad. I liked playing with Satan.
And,
I know.
Vic of War,
Alright.
you gotta explain that to his daughter.
Oh, I
Right?
got that.
She's
It's
gonna
fine.
see Snoopy with my mask on.
I'm just
I
gonna
don't know
say.
if I'm gonna wear it all the time.
All right, I'll be back. I'll be right back. So there we go. The party went from the City of Guilds and started traveling towards the west. The funny thing about this encounter is that it was an easy encounter based on their level, but their tactics, tactics mean everything in this game, and they're not messing with like just dumb enemies, and they're also not messing with a a dumb GM. I am a war gamer, all intents and purposes. I make tactical decisions, and they had a chance at peace, and one of the players was not about it. So the lizard folk went to their, hey, all right, we're the line of defense for our people. That's where it went. So unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to Saberwolf. He was a wonderful character. I really enjoyed playing NPCs towards him. I know Kevin really enjoyed it, but death is only the beginning of a new character that he can fully embrace and hopefully enjoy. So we won't be playing next week because I will be moving, and we will be continuing back on Mondays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time the week after. I believe that is June 8th. So hopefully we see you then. Until next time, peace.